My computer says I am alive. I am alive. And to celebrate life, chocolate cake. Because there's not many more ways you can celebrate life than eating chocolate cake, other than having ice cream on top of it. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. Some things I want to talk about. Hearing more rhetoric about a possible. You guys quit being mean to each other. I'm hearing more rhetoric about, hey, Mr. Cheddar Pepper Prepper. Wow, say that 3 times fast, huh? Yeah, no, I was just playing his game. Actually, I wasn't playing his game. I was losing his game. And anyhow, back to the rhetoric that I've been hearing talk on different channels about is a possible cyber attack. So my suggestion is, if you believe there's going to be a cyber attack that's going to take down whatever, those little computer plugins right now, take and plug it in your computer, start downloading things. So that way, if the computer systems go down, the internet goes down, you still have access to pertinent information that you pre-downloaded, manuals on fixing things, stuff like that, and other pertinent information, how to grow, whatever, how to fix this, how to fix that, and pre-download all this stuff onto one of those, I think I got one somewhere around here, onto one of these things. You just stick it in the computer, download stuff to it. That way, if there is like a grid down type scenario, or they knock out the internet or whatnot, and you still have to, like, you know you're working on certain things. It's your job to do certain things, work on certain things. HVAC, for example, download manuals so that you can reference them while the internet's down, and you might be able to get ahead of others during the time that the internet's down, that this supposed cyber attack is supposed to take place. I don't know what form a cyber attack would take place. I don't have any clue. I imagine it would probably happen during some sort of an armed conflict large enough to attract our attention to, that would distract us from something like that, so that maybe they could reset the system or something like that, or change facts that are online right now. Like, I noticed Wikipedia, when Wikipedia first came out, everyone thought it was great, but I noticed several errors in Wikipedia. What's up, JM? I noticed several errors in the Wikipedia about information that Wikipedia was putting out, different than Webster's Dictionary. Luckily, I've got a hardback edition of Webster's Dictionary, so I don't have to worry about whatever Wikipedia changes definitions to. Or another, for example, before Barack Obama, there were certain things that were considered mental diseases that had things you could do for them, written in books. Then Barack Obama comes along and changes the definition of things. Now they're no longer put in books, so you don't know how to fix them. That's called causing problems. So, download stuff in advance. What's up, Art? Download stuff in advance onto little personal drives that you have. So that way, if the internet does go down for an extended period of time, and you need access to general information on stuff that you're doing, pre-download manuals, pre-download instructions, pre-download stuff that you can pull up on an offline computer and still get that information because you downloaded it earlier. That, believe it or not, would be a big fail-safe for you and your family if grid goes down. I have a computer and a cell phone in a Faraday bag, sitting inside a 1954 refrigerator, just for the extra protection, because 1954, well, we all saw Indiana Jones. They survived nuclear bombs. No, they're actually pretty good for Faraday cages as well. So is microwaves, because anything that'll keep a microwave out will keep the electromagnetic pulse out as well. So let's see, what else did I want to talk about? Not Ninja Notes, but they're similar to Ninja Notes. Oh yeah, and along with that, if you don't want to do the computer thing, there's a lot of how-to books out there on how to fix certain things, how to do certain things. Pick up the copies of those. Get a set of books out there that if anything does go down, power goes down, grid goes down, internet goes down, you still have access to information, certain informations that you find might be needed. How to fix small engines, little manual. That way you can work on a chainsaw or a go-kart or something, and just how-to manuals. And let's see what else. Oh yeah, now to the fun stuff. Hey, Crafty. Well, I'm glad you finally caught me live. I try to come on Sunday. It's 6 p.m. California time, Pacific Standard Time. I try to come on every Sunday at that time. But yeah, back to another story I just did a couple days ago. Was on Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso wanting to come together and get their own money system going, break away from the Franco Euro. I think is what they're using now. And I'm trying to get a link here. They're talking about the three countries breaking away and coming up with their own monetary system based off commodities. Since they're commodity rich, all three of the countries are commodity rich nations. They already broke out of the East African Council or something that France put together, which basically crippled that economic union in Africa. And they're also talking about coming together. There's three countries making one country, which will make them the economic powerhouse of Africa. And they're planning right now. And with everything they've been doing, I don't see where, hey, what's up, Clear Lake? I don't see where they won't be able to do it. And that is not only come up with their own currency backed by commodities, which is what they're talking about, but also become one country so that they have the GDP, the numbers and everything to become a powerhouse in Africa. And they're making all the right moves to do that. That's why I think they're backed by Russia, because there's no way in heck fire three small African countries can all have a coup, all cooperate together, already get renegotiated deals without any more powerful countries coming in and trying to stop them. For them not to, more powerful countries come in and try and change things, for them not to be able to do that, they have to have a powerful backer preventing that from happening. That's just life. And that means Russia's back in. Russia's already signed an agreement with Burkina Faso to build a nuclear power plant for power for the west coast of Africa, the central Western Africa. They've already renegotiated all their contracts for their mining operations where the actual people are getting. I mean, they're doing great things down there, and they're probably going to be leading Africa out of the conundrum or slump that they're in now. But anyhow, those are my thoughts on that stuff. Well, what do you think? I'm surprised Indy's not here since she missed last Sunday. Oh, by the way, I did put the link up, and JM is here. Holy cow. Hold on. There we go. There's Mr. JM. Can you hear him?
Hey, Neil. Hey, everybody.
Yes, you can hear him.
Sweet. And don't worry, I just got into the backstage there about 3 seconds before you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I got a double screen. I got the computer screen with the wire going to my TV screen, but I'm using the camera from my computer, so I have to have it lifted all the way up, and it covers the lower part of the TV screen, which everything is at, so I don't see the lower third of the TV screen.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed that in one of your videos recently, how you got that set up. So.
Yeah, so I don't have to wear glasses as much, but I find after a while it doesn't help.
Yeah. Hey, Crafty Stacker, Art Collector, Clear Lake, everybody.
Yeah, we got a couple of new peoples here.
Yes.
A good thing.
Mr. Cheddar Pepper Prepper definitely stopped by from
yes, he did.
Live stream.
I don't think he might have stayed. He did say hello, and I appreciate you telling people about my channel over on your channel.
Yep.
And I still have, let me get it here, that deal from Andy for the 1 ounce platinum. That's still going. I'll go ahead and get this in here. if anybody's interested or knows anybody interested. It's a decent deal. You're going to find that right now they're talking about the 2024 not being minted as far as platinum goes.
Hey, Neil, I strongly recommend you click on that comment that you put in there, so it just leaves it highlighted for your live stream
Which comment?
about the platinum special.
Oh, that one?
Yeah, I would just
okay.
leave it up there. Why not?
Okay. Yeah, hell, it's my show, right?
Well, that way you don't forget to remind people. It's just there.
Art collector. I spoke with the guy. He was down south with his family for 5 days. He just got back yesterday. He's going to email me all the footage and a downloadable link, and I'm just going to send it off, forward it to Chris Marcus, and let them go through and do whatever they want to do with it. Because we did several takes, and I said several things. It was all ad lib. There was no script, so I don't know which. I haven't even seen him, but he hasn't done anything with the editing like he said he would, which is cool. He's got a lot going on. He's opening a bar and he's building a music studio, so he's got a lot going on. So I'm just going to send all the raw footage to Chris Marcus and let them finesse it, from Miles Franklin point of view, I guess, or add whatever they want, or I don't know. Jake's Custom Parts is telling me that they're probably, he thinks, and he knows, he calls Andy Schickman and Chris Marcus and talks to him, and he was telling me, hey, what's up, Crypto Beauty? He was telling me that they'll probably take and put the Miles Franklin logos and the special deal and all this stuff onto the commercial. So like I said, I'm just going to send them the raw footage and let them do that, if that's what they're going to do. If they're not going to do it, and they just tell me that like the third one or the fourth one or whatever, then I'll just take that one, do a little editing and kick it out. And I think they're going to be promoting it along with a couple other channels and myself. But that's what's going on with the commercial.
That's right on. And I did post Mr. Cheddar Pepper Prepper's link. Because
that is a mouthful. And if you say it with cheese in your mouth, you're really screwed up.
A lot of people do call it Cheddar, which is a great name.
Pepper. Say that 3 times fast.
But he's a great, great guy, and that's why I put the link in there. And I think this is his first time to your channel, so I like to kind of, he came over to a live stream, so I want to make sure if people can link up with him.
I do a lot of shorts to get the subscriber numbers up, and I have a lot of cats, so why not? But I do a lot of geopolitical. I find that I give information that's relevant about a year in advance, it seems like, for a lot of things that I give information on, like the SRMs, or the discovery of platinum in Canada and America are going to be the next leader of platinum mining. That's not going to happen for a couple of years, but it's going to happen. No one knows about it until I tell them.
Hey, William.
Hey, Neil. Neil, I'm reading your... Sorry, William. I'm reading your comment and it said, hey, Neil. So I said, hey, Neil, out loud. Oh, yeah. And I did a video just a couple of days ago. It's got the thumbnail of a Cummins engine. And this is what I mean when I say I give information like a year and a half in advance. I did a video, geopolitical platinum stuff, not kitty cat short, on the development of the hydrogen biodiesel engine, and that Cummins Diesel stopped producing their diesel powerhouse, and no one seemed to give a crap. And I just did a video yesterday of Cummins Diesel coming out saying, "Oh yeah, we stopped that a while ago. Here's our new hydrogen biodiesel engine." They didn't say it, but that Neil's been talking about for the past year, and we haven't been. That's what I mean when I say I give information early, because they just no, I have not, Art Collector.
Hey there, Crypto Beauty. I didn't say hi to you. Welcome in.
Oh yeah, no, everyone's abandoning EV. Everyone's finding out, and I've said this several times on different live streams, lithium mining is more destructive to this planet's ecosystem than using oil.
Oh yeah. Go
green.
Yep.
Yeah, so every car you buy, EV car, no, you just screwed up the environment more than my fuel burning combustion engine will do in 20 years. Thank you. Yeah, they sell a bunch of crap. And I knew it at the time, but it's the FOMO thing, and there's going to be several different forms of energy coming out in different cars. Japan's got an ammonia engine. I've seen a unique. Oh man, it's a two cylinder, but it gives like 150 horsepower, and it got unique pistons, and they're side by side. And there's all kinds of new engines and new power plants that are coming out, and what that's going to do in and of itself is it's going to diversify the uses that people use. Instead of all of us using combustion engines and gas, some people are going to stay electric. Some people are going to go hydrogen, biodiesel. Some people are going to go, get these new ammonia engine. And by diversity, we're going to lessen the use of oil just through the diversity of the power plant selections that we have at these car companies. And that in and of itself is going to be a better, like Toyota, the CEO of Toyota said, by diversifying the power plants and the uses of the different power sources to power those power plants is more effective on stopping environmental warming or global warming than just 1 in 100 people buying an EV car. And if you do the math, if 10 out of 100 people buy hybrid cars and only versus 1 out of 100 buying the EV cars, those 10 people buying those hybrid engine cars are going to have a more of an impact on the environment than that one EV, just because of the destructiveness to nature that it takes to mine just the lithium alone.
Yep.
So people are coming around, and then also like these big windmills, they're the biggest sham out there.
Darn right.
Man, they're the biggest sham out there. And we were sold on this crap, and I built them. Hey, I got pictures of me up on 150 foot, tearing down the windmills, taking off the blades and stuff. So I'm a part of it, and I didn't know it then, but I know it now. So I don't, I don't propagate it. I quite frankly find that the Archimedes, everyone has heard of Archimedes. He's some old fucker, been around 2,000 years, wrote some shit, did some shit. This shit's still better today than anything we got going. If you look at the Archimedes style windmill they have, it's a smaller house unit that can generate on 2-mile-an-hour winds, generate like 1,500 watts of power, and it's quiet. And then you start looking; these are called Torlini propellers on boats that give 30% more propulsion without 30% more fuel being needed. They're shaped like an Archimedes screw. So we're going back to old Greek crap and finding it's better than the technology that we have right now with all of our advancements and blah 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 blah. We were sold on bullshit. The old shit's still good.
With those wind farms, there was a bunch of them that were set up, like hundreds of them, near where I live. Like about 80 miles away. And I used to drive out there. And I thought, man, this is like 10 years ago. I was thinking, man, those things are going to generate so much power because they're so large and they get a lot of wind right off of Lake Huron. You can look at the Bruce nuclear plant.
Uh-huh.
That's where they've got a ton of these windmills too. But it turns out once the wind is greater than something like 30 miles an hour wind, they have to shut them off.
Yeah.
They can't generate right when
the blades will shake too much and fall off.
It's
crazy.
Like that's when it should be generating the most, and they go completely offline.
I've seen them where the blades will keep going around, then all of a sudden, if they're going too fast, they start like frequency, vibration, and energy. They'll start hitting that right frequency and just vibrate apart, and you'll see blades flying like 3/4 of a mile, landing in this farmer's field and shit.
Ooh, like resonance.
Huh? No. Out here, I was part of there's a 4-part windmill project supposed to have gone for like a quarter century. I was on phase 1, where we tore down a couple hundred 150 foot tall windmills and several thousand 75 foot tall windmills, and we replaced them. Phase 1 was with 19 320 footers because they sold us all this environmental bullshit, saying all these small ones that do too much environmental damage. One big one's worth 1,000 of these little ones. So they sold us on that, and now they're finishing 20 some years later. They're now finishing phase 4, which is up in Pittsburgh. The first one was down by San Jose, and zero impact on energy.
Hey Tom, good to see you. One other thing I just wanted a quick mention on the EVs. I'm curious to know how many people in the chat here, or even you, Neil, if you've ever gone for a ride in a Tesla.
Not a Tesla, but I have gone. When my mother was alive, she came out here over a decade ago, and we rented this car. It was a Blue Earth Energy Technology style,
Okay.
and we drove up and down the West Coast, and I was able to get like 65 miles to the gallon with that hybrid engine car, and I really loved it. And it never advanced anywhere. And then this EV shit came out heavy, and I was like, wow, dude. that other car was a lot better than the fucking EVs because you could add gas to it, keep going, and hell, at 65 miles a gallon. Think about it. Average car is getting 30. I was doubling that with the hybrid, not a straight electric because I couldn't. On electric, you're dead after certain mileage, and this hybrid engine car was giving me 65 miles a gallon. I could have driven 10 gallons, would have got me 650 miles. Man, that would take me 30 gallons in my car I have now. So the energy savings is much more worth it to go hybrid engines rather than total electric.
I agree. One of my customers bought Tesla, and what he said after driving it in the winter and everything else, he said,
winter's horrible.
yeah, but like when the weather's nice, the equivalent power, like I think they tell you the power in kilowatts,
Yeah,
it works out to something like 700 or 800 horsepower in those little Tesla sedans. But what he said is basically it's a toy. That's it. You don't want to use it as your daily driver. You don't want to use it for trips. But if you want to go ripping around for an hour or two, it is good for that. Like they fly. But he said he would never advise anybody to get one as a daily driver, especially here in Canada. Hey, Chad Wolf, good to see you. Anyone else we missed?
Yeah, I put a link up if anyone else wants to join. Sorry, I had to put milk in my tea. It's not real tea without milk.
But I don't think you pinned
What's
it.
up, Chad?
You didn't pin the link.
Nope, I did not. Oh, no, I got to go on this other one to do that, right? Hold on, yeah.
I'll put it in here in the meantime. That StreamYard link if anyone wants to come up. Oh, you got it too. Okay.
And that's pin message. Did that do it on that one? That's on. I did on YouTube. Now I'm hopping back over to
Yep,
StreamYard.
you got it. It's pinned now. Nicely done.
Yeah, it just takes about 20 times. I'm a quick learner, bro.
Well, there's a lot of buttons, right? How many tabs do you got open?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I've got 4 tabs open, but
I like doing a lot of research, bro. I'll flip from research to research. I'll be watching one thing, it'll strike a nerve on something else. I need research before I can finish researching the thing I started researching. I'm weird, but it keeps you learn a lot. You learn a lot. Most of it's useful, but useless, but some of it's useful.
I call it attention surplus.
Yeah, I guess there's a lot of room left in here I need to fill. You know, so But anyhow, I put the link up there if anyone wants to join.
Yeah, usually we see. Oh, I was just gonna say. Usually we see
Wealth
the
of
Wealth
Nations.
of Nations, and there he is.
Yeah, again, Wealth of Nations. I just did a video. It's got the thumbnail of Cummins diesel engine. They just announced to the public, and they were keeping it quiet, I guess, because they never advertised it. But they are just now installing into certain trucks their new design Cummins diesel or Cummins hybrid hydrogen biodiesel engine that they're going to be building because they're no longer building straight biodiesel or straight diesel engine Cummins anymore.
Hey, Thule.
Thule.
Hey, art collector. I don't think that I would move to California, although I did spend 2 weeks in San Diego, and I did quite like San Diego.
Oh, Thule's just giving us a drive-by.
Yeah, but that's still nice. It's not just a.
Man,
It's drive-by
we
with
got room in the parking lot, and the movie hasn't even started. We got popcorn cooking, girl. Come on now. I'm just kidding. Thanks for stopping by, girl.
Yeah.
I mess with everybody. You ought to know that before you come here.
If there's going to be a drive-by, that's the type you want. Hey, Joseph.
Yes, it's always good for people to stop by. It'd be nice if they stayed. Hey, Neil, stop by, say bye. Hi, bye. That'll be a new word. Hi, bye.
You know, Neil, frequently I do that the last 10 minutes before I leave my workshop. As you know,
Sweet, Justin.
I'll just go through all the people I'm subscribed to that are live, and I'll just stop in, hit the thumbs up, watch for maybe a minute or so, and then move on to the next one. Same thing. And believe it or not, even though you say, oh, well, that's going to drop the average view duration and all that sort of thing, just the fact that you got interaction does help them
Leave
out.
a comment underneath and hit the like button. It does more than staying there the whole time. Although staying there during the whole show is obviously better. But just hitting the thumbs up and leaving a comment underneath, not in the live stream, but underneath, it does more good for the algorithm.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all based on. I've been looking at my numbers, fucking skyrocketing, man. I put out, because I look for certain things that happen, and I look for the hits, and I see which one of I got 7 actors in my house with me. They're all cats.
Yeah.
They're cheap. They don't have an actor's skin. And each of them gets different range of views, you know. So, and I've noticed this over time. And little Silver and Gandalf are in the lead with Stryker as for 9 to 16,000 views per video. And once hey, how's it going? Once they got that, like the one time Silver jumped on my shoulder as I was doing a live stream, boom. His shorts started going through 9, 10, 12,000 views, so yeah. That little kitty cat surpassed Gandalf. Was at like 6,000 views because a lot of people like the Russian blue. But Silver jumping on the shoulder and staying there and bumping heads with me and shit.
Yep.
Fucking people fell for that. I'm like, so I'm playing up on it, and I'm gaining like 50 subscribers a day.
Yep, that's rocking.
Yeah, and I'm not, I'm happy. I was at like less than 300 subscribers for a year and 4 months.
Yep.
And then I had, my mom passed away, and I just didn't feel like doing anything, so I just started throwing up kitty cat shorts. Okay, work,
Art collector, sativa during the day,
indica morning, noon, and night.
Indica at night, and this one right here. You can't see it.
But see, now what you must understand, people just look at the high value, and weed is not just for getting high. Indicas are better for pain and sleeping.
That one's hybrid.
Sativas are better for a light head high, to where you can still function real well and feel good about yourself. And then they've come up with hybrids, and all of them have a little different effect on you. The reason why I like the pure indicas with the heavy, hey, what's up, Tom? With the heavy THC value is because I've been an iron worker for 30 years, and I'm not one of those fat, lazy office guys. I've been in a crew for 30 years. That means I still lift. I still bust my ass, and I'm 50. I'm fixing to be 56. My back hurts and shit when I get home, or even just driving home. Sometimes I got to keep wiggling positions. I smoke some of this shit. Pain goes away, and I'm a nicer person.
That's right.
Because when you're in pain, you're usually not that nicer person. You're a little grumpy.
Takes the edge off.
It damn sure does. And I just, once I get rid of iron work and not doing anymore, do something else and can rehabilitate my body to a 100%, where I'm not, always in pain, I'll probably slow down big time and change up to these sativas so I could function better, because the use case will change for the medication. It's not just what is that? Who are those two Mexicans? Cheech and Chong. Weed's not Cheech and Chong, bro. I mean, that's a good movie, fun times, all this stuff.
Funny.
But there's hell of good medical uses for marijuana. Yeah. PTSD is one of them.
Tom was asking if you're in Canada. I was going to answer, but I thought I'd let you answer for yourself.
I'm in Northern California. I'm in the Bay Area of California, Tom. I am nowhere near that white stuff.
So, yes, that's Southern Canada, right? Good one, Wealth. And for anyone that needs to know, I'm near Toronto. Toronto. just northwest of Buffalo, New York.
Woo! It's cold up there. I know a couple of people got a lot of land up in upstate New York. They used to be tomato farmers.
Okay.
Yeah, like 100 plus acres doing tomato farming or something like that, and other stuff.
Right now it's about 30 Fahrenheit here outside.
Oh, damn, man. It's only 60 here.
Well, I got my little workshop here is about 60 degrees in here.
You know what I do for that, JM?
What's that?
Three-wick candle burners, bro.
Yeah.
These things last for about 24 hours or, 3 good days, 4 good days inside your shed.
Yeah.
Warm that thing up just to a good temperature to where you're not freezing your balls off and you can still do things. And then your body temperature just increase that temperature if it's decently insulated pad.
Yeah, it does help.
Oh, big time. Big time.
You've seen the little off-grid heater that I've got with the tea lights?
Yeah.
That will warm it up in here about 2 or 3 degrees. And this 100 square feet, and only the ceiling's insulated. So
I'm a big proponent of wood burning stoves.
oh yeah, because it's got the double feature, right? Heat and cooking.
Yep. I can put my tea kettle on top of there and make some tea as I'm getting warm.
Yep. In fact, the Mennonites, like the Amish.
Yeah.
I heard what they'll do is they'll put like fire bricks in their wood stove.
And then
before they go to bed, they put them under their bed. Now, like, I don't want to cause anyone a fire hazard.
No, we don't advocate anything like that. But yeah, it's just like a water, not a water blanket. What do you call it? Water bottle.
Yeah.
When I lived in northern Scotland along the North Sea, we'd always heat up water, boil water, stick it in this rubber bladder, and then put the top on it and stick it up where your feet were in the bed to warm the bed up.
Yep.
There's a flip side to that. You find out the principle of thermodynamics, and you wake up at midnight with a fucking ice ball right by your feet.
Yeah. Because of condensation.
No, because everything that heats up cools down to whatever the temperature is, even after. It could be 120 degrees, but if the room is 40 degrees and you're under blankets, your body temperature is only going to keep it to a certain degree, and it's going to help it'll help retain cold after it loses its heat, and
Right.
It's right under your skin. So it's the exact opposite. It's like drinking coffee an hour before you go to bed will help you sleep.
Yeah.
People
Hey there, ATM. How's it
what do you
going?
need to help you sleep? Yeah, well, coffee's like a roller coaster. That's what caffeine is. You go up and then you go down. And at the down, you can sleep. Figure out how long it takes your body to react to coffee. Once you start feeling it down, it takes an hour and a half. Drink a cup of coffee, hour and a half before you go to bed. You sleep like a baby. What's up, ATM?
I think that's a good idea, Cheddar. That is a good idea.
Hold on a second. Let me read it out.
The issue with it is going to be that candle
Also
still needs oxygen intake. So you got to be careful that you don't do anything that'll choke out the oxygen.
That and the copper, hollow copper tree design. The copper would heat up further down than the wax would melt, and it would melt the wax because the conductivity of the heat of the copper is different of that of the wax. And so if from what I'm seeing in my head or reading what you're saying, it's like a copper designed tree that's in wax that you light. And if you did that, the wax where the copper is, the copper would heat up further down than where the wax in the wick is burning, and it would melt that wax around the copper because of the copper. You could heat it up. It's like this right here. If I put a light to here, this is the top of the fucking. Okay, eventually this is going to get warmed up, even though the fire's up at the top. It'll transfer the heat down enough to melt the wax. So that's probably why that design hasn't been done.
I want to show this again if you're okay with it, since we're on that
Sure.
topic.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a clay pot.
I love your design.
Yeah, clay. It's fairly large. It's bigger than my head. And at the top, you'll see I've got a metal bolt and a bunch of washers. And that's going to get really hot. I'll show you how. And then inside, you'll see I've got a bolt. That bolt goes right through that and another smaller clay pot that's in there. So that's a double clay pot like that. And I'll just show you. That goes on top of this guy. It's a little dirty, but it's a little cooking pan that's designed for high heat. And you'll see I got my 2 tea lights in there that are burned out. And this sucker, like, I'll fire it up and show you, but with just 2 tea lights, that'll run for 4 hours. And it provides light through the glass, a little bit of ambient light. And it heats up that clay pot really nice. Really nice. So I'll show you in a minute.
In other words, you're gonna warm up your room there real quick.
Oh, I can save on a little bit of electricity because I've also got
Hell yeah.
2 electric heaters and a propane heater in here as well, and a heat light. I don't need all of that now, but for anyone, like, if you want a couple off-grid backup light duty heaters, so now I've got that same thing with 2 little tea lights in there. And then this thing just goes right on top of that. Just show you. So that's how it ends up looking.
And the principle is that thing gets heated up by the candles retaining the heat before it escapes out. So it's a dual use of the heat. The heat heats up the candle. Heats up the ceramic, and the ceramic puts off heat, and then the heat fills up the ceramic part, and then also rolls out. So you're getting a double usage from the one candle wick.
The heat's trapped in there. So those metal bolts that I showed you, that metal bolt on top, like, technically, if I turn that into a much larger washer, I could fry an egg on that.
Yeah, you could also burn your hands on the top part of that ceramic dish after a while because it'll get hot. And it actually radiates more heat.
Yeah.
It's a way to extend the double the use or double the use of
But the key with that is you should be able to see there's about 3/4 of an inch on either side that's open, so the oxygen can get in there.
Yeah.
And I've even seen some of these old boats, like fishing boats, where the front windshield of it will get all fogged up. Kind of like when you drive your car, when the temperature really changes, it fogs up. And they'll put a similar type hanging clay pot with candle up by the windshield, and the heat from that defrosts or defogs the front windshield. It's neat.
There's a lot of time-saving things and money-saving things you can do if you just put your mind to it and actually research a little bit of history. During the Depression, 1940s, they did a lot of cool stuff. They were very inventive. Of course, they had to be.
Cheddar, I think that would work. I think it's worth.
Yeah, definitely.
There's definitely no harm in trying that.
Dude, if you don't try it, that's the only bad idea is the one you don't try.
And so for that special through Miles Franklin that you have highlighted on the screen, they don't need to mention that Neil.
No,
said,
no. That's why I think, and I don't want to get excited about this, but I've heard from people who are friends. A friend of mine is good friends with both Andy Schickman and Chris Marcus, and he seems to think that because they don't have any platinum people, and and even Andy's told me personally, they don't push platinum because it's never been that big a deal. And I pushed platinum and have for 2 years. Mm-hmm. So I think they're gonna, from what I'm hearing, I'm gonna be like, hopefully, a subcontractor to Miles Franklin for platinum sales and getting all these kind of discount links throughout the year for platinum. In other words, they're making a division from my understanding.
Wholesaler.
We'll see how it goes.
That's really cool, man. I like how you.
I find a niche and I make a spot for myself.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying. Well, you're not always successful, but if you don't try, you'll never know. And I try. And
you've got that charisma.
Thank you. I've
That
been told by everyone I work with I've got that asshole niche about me. But then I tell them to get back to fucking work or I'll fire them. So that might have something to do with it.
See, but you cut me off. You didn't let me finish, did you?
Sorry, dude.
I was going to say you've got that charisma, and then I was trying to come up with what would the ratio be. I was going to say probably 60 or 70% of people, really resonate with and would like. But I can definitely see, 15 or 20% of people are just going to say, yeah, he's an ass, or he's just too cocky, or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's fine. You can never keep everyone happy all the time.
And if you try, you're foolish.
And you're just being yourself, right? You're being genuine. So,
and being Neil, this is how I am, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm toned down. Usually, once I get going, I can, if it's a fun mood, I'll expand whatever's going on at the time. If there's like a little happiness in them, and for example, a couple of decades ago, I was traveling iron worker with my partner. We were connectors. We stopped at this Holiday Inn, and they had some volleyball courts down at the bottom of the hill. No lights on, no one down there. And they were selling Jello shots in these little cups, these little like ketchup cups for $1 a piece. Yep. So I looked at the waitress, handed her $60, said, I want 60 of the shots down there, turn the lights on, bring me a ball. Me and my buddy are going to go down there and play some volleyball. And within 20 minutes, we had 40 people down there, and it was a party.
Right on.
And they said they left the lights off because no one's down there. I said, no one's down there because you got the lights off. Turn them on. I'm going down there. That's right. And then the party started. I brought 60 shots, but it was like $60, $1 a shot wasn't nothing, and started the party. Yep. And I didn't live there. I wasn't staying there tonight. I just stopped by to get a drink and ended up starting a party.
But you know what? What a great, so you could be a great promotions person for them even. Look at all the extra business that probably yielded.
Oh, they've generated lots of business. I know for a fact I've got over, in the 2 years I've been promoting myself, just telling people to buy it because I don't care about making profit off it. I want other people to secure a little bit of their finances anyhow, and profit a little bit. And I know over $1 million has gone into platinum because of what I've been doing for the past 2 years. Yep. $1 million in sales, at least. That's just what I know of from a couple of coin shops and people that I spoke with that work at the coin shops that, for example, one of the coin shops is in Florida. And when the new recruits from the NFL at these Florida teams down there get their big bonuses, they aren't buying Bitcoin. They go into coin shops because someone bought $300,000 worth a couple of years ago and was showing it around. And now everyone's going in and buying $200,000 to $300,000 every year in silver, platinum, and gold. And the platinum is because the guy tells them you need to buy platinum too, because it's at a hell of a deal. And he keeps me informed. And one person came in and bought $1 million, 500,000 gold, 200,000, 250,000 in silver, and 250,000 in platinum, for which I'm responsible for. That's how I know I've got over 2 of those people. So I know there's over $1 million in sales, platinum sales that I've made for whatever companies they purchased from. And I don't care. I just know that a lot more people are going to be secure in their finances than buying other assets that are new and have never been through a recession. And thank you for bringing that up, because one thing Ninja always says is don't use a realtor that hasn't been through a recession. Well, don't choose a money system that hasn't survived a recession. BTC's never been through a recession, so hold off on your money until after the recession. If it's still around, then take a look at it. Until then, it's not been through a recession, and it could go away. It could not. I'm not saying either way. All I'm saying is it's not tested. It has not been tested through a recession, and in a recession, things fail. That is what I'm saying. No matter what the asset class is, if it's never been through our economy's recessionary period, don't invest in it till after it's been through it, because it's going to take a big hit and probably never come back, as a majority of them do through history. And that's not a pro or con to crypto or anything. It's just how things have worked in the past. And I don't see where it would be any different now, just because it's a newer technological asset. I don't see where it would be different than wheat or corn 300 years ago.
I can see people putting a little bit into the cryptos. Like obviously people have made big money, but I would say it falls into a similar category to buying or trading penny stocks. It's highly speculative. You just never know.
Yeah.
You can argue that it's a form of diversification.
Yeah.
Anyone that's saying, "Oh yeah, I mortgaged my house and I threw it all into crypto, and now I'm driving around in a Lamborghini," I'm sure
you can make money selling pig pork futures. It doesn't mean it's cash. It doesn't mean you can make money on houses. It doesn't mean it's money. But when they start saying it's money, that's where I have a problem with it. Because then, in which case, you can say a house is money. Because I can sell that house and hold it for 2 years, sell it, make $100,000. So that house is $100,000 cash to me. But it's a house, but it's cash. Well, what's the difference argument between that and crypto BTC?
The other one that
my car is cash.
Is that crypto's not backed by anything.
That's the problem I have with it.
And me too. And I had one person that was just debating to no end that Bitcoin's backed by
Tether.
By electricity.
By Tether. Tether's fixing to be bankrupt.
Okay.
So what's crypto going to be if their backing goes belly up? Because what they don't tell you in crypto is Tether is pegged to the dollar. Bitcoin is pegged to Tether. So if the dollar goes, Tether goes, Bitcoin goes. Right. Where's the dollar going? Buy Bitcoin. I'm just saying. Yeah. Or it'll change again, which means it's not money. So either way, it's not money. You can make money off of it, just like a house, but a house is not money either. Land is not money. Cars are not money. You can make money off of them, but they're not money. There's a difference. So people saying that Bitcoin is money, no. But you can make money off of it. Yep. See, there's a difference. So my argument's like in between all these other people. Oh, it's money. No, it's not money. Well, no, it's not money. And yes, you can make money with
make money buying and selling used cars.
You can make money buying and selling
anything.
Shit. Yep. Just find the right buyer, and get the right seller and be an arbitrator or arbiter. Find it cheap, sell it expensive.
Yep. So
whatever the it is, even if it's it,
Monero for privacy. Yeah, I did hear that. Like I've heard good things about Monero, XLM, XRP. They do have their the purposes, but I agree with Neil. You cannot call it. It's not.
It's not money. It's not been through a recession. You don't know if it's going to be here in 3 years. I don't care how much money's. Hey, and if for everyone who says, "Oh, but there's so much money to it," yeah, hundreds of billions of dollars got thrown at it last halving, and it made it go from 16 to 64,000. There's not going to be hundreds of billions of thrown at it this time because they already threw all their money at it. So it's not going to do the raise that they think it's going to do in a recession.
And they think that with them coming out with the indexes.
Yeah, no. Here's another thing, and you should realize this just from history of the stock market. If it comes out as an ETF, it's a big failure.
Yeah, because then they can short it.
That's it.
The ETFs, so
it's a big failure, and it's not going to be anything other than the Wall Street guys making money and you losing your ass. So, that's hey Finn, how's it going? Long live coins, how's it going? So you can make money off of it though, and I encourage people to make money if you know a lot about it. Make money on it, but don't bet the farm. Don't try and tell people it is something it isn't. Just make money off of it. Trade it, make money off of it. Just like now, Long Live Coins here. So I'm going to throw him out here. He's got a great channel of ancient coins and does a lot of history on ancient coins. You can buy and sell old coins and make money off of them. And you can make money off of anything. Like these. Here's another great example. The Cash Capital Platinum coin that was circulated as currency. Yes, platinum is money. Those coins, it's a 3.4 gram, a 4.4 gram, a 6.4 gram, and a 20.4 gram Russian coin from 1825 to 1845 was circulated as currency in Russia. And if you can ask Long Live Coins, who's a coin guy. He does ancient coins. He can tell you, yeah, they're highly sought after. So that means that anyone who tells you that platinum's never been money, it was long time money before they were even born. So long time ago, they didn't research their history to know what they're talking about, or they're only looking at the Western perspective, which is an improper perspective to have if you're going to invest. You need to look at the total perspective, not just one. So if you're looking at a one-sided perspective when you're going to invest, that's also wrong.
They stripped that history out of the curriculum.
Yeah, we don't teach Russian history. You got to learn it on your own.
And you guys in the chat, if you want to come up on the panel.
Yeah, please come up.
Neil
Thank
be
you.
more than happy to, and he'll promote your channel. And
oh yeah, I'd like to have Long Limb Coins up here. I don't have a turntable for him, but
the link is pinned. It's pinned.
Oh yeah, I already pinned it. Yeah,
you got it.
Here I am rethrowing it up there. Yeah, anyone who wants to come up, even John Bethy, excuse me.
The Wealth of Nations is usually up here, and I kind of miss him being here.
I'd like to get Thomas Toops up here. That motherfucker's got one hell of a voice, dude. He's got like a Paul Harvey voice.
I'd like you to get Sal on here because, like, Sal really likes.
That'd be cool.
Too.
He's actually commented on a lot of my. It's not a lot on a couple of my videos.
Well, you know that he's checking you out then because he is one busy mofo.
Like, yeah, no, he turns out several shows a day. So yeah, to do all that research and keep it all on just precious metals. My God, man, that's dedication. One reason why I don't do precious metals, I just promote every now and then and tell stuff about platinum, and then I go back to geopolitical. There's not enough information for me to keep it interesting. But yet Sal does exactly that.
Yeah, and
I don't even want to attempt to try that. So kudos to him for sure. And he comes up with a lot of good information on the precious metals, and he's been doing it for a long time. I could never do that. That's why I want geopolitical, because it always changes. That and platinum, because I'm real interested when the suppression of platinum stops to see everyone's fucking head explode saying, fuck, I wish I should have bought some at 1,000. I'm going to love hearing that one.
Sal,
I was telling you about it for years.
Sal has a lot of really good subscribers, too, that help him with that. You know, like he's got people where like a minute after the story comes out, they've already sent him an email with the link and everything, and they know the deal. And then,
well, it takes a community to have a good show.
That's right.
That, or you just got to be have a wealth of knowledge all on your own to be able to do what other people can do easier because they've got more people doing it with them.
Hey, John Beathy, good to see you.
But like I said, I get as I'm researching stuff, I get sidetracked with research because I find something that I got to validate or verify in my research. Then I go off and research that, and then I go off and research it, and I'll like do 180, and I just research, and things just filled my head over the years. And so I see things that people don't see. Like when people say things, I get what they don't say, which is more to the point of what they mean, not what they're talking about or saying, vocally. It's different. People will say one thing and mean something totally different.
I had a buddy that you kind of remind me of in that he was always going like that. Like any second of the day, you could call him or hear from him, and he'd have news for you or a new word or a new concept. And I go out for lunch with him and his girlfriend or breakfast, about once a week. And every single time, as soon as you walk into the restaurant, he grabs the newspaper. And the entire time that you're sitting down there drinking coffee, waiting for your food order to come and everything, he's sitting there reading the paper and conversing with us. But it drove his girlfriend absolutely crazy because she's like, why can't you just shut that fucking newspaper and just talk with us? And he'd sit there smiling and be like, I can do 3 things at the same time.
This is going to sound funny as shit, but for a couple of years, I would get information about what's going on in the world off of Stargate and WWE. And I could be watching those shows and something in my head would click about something going on in the world that was real, that it explained or something like that. And I would, and of course, both of them are enjoyable shows to watch, but I get a lot of insight to the world views from watching those 2 shows. It was fucking weird. But then again, I came up with a mobile bee apiary and a mobile fencing system for elephants, and I've come up with a lot of lightning crystal. But I come up, my brain's weird anyhow. So I got a weird brain. My neighbor likes it because when we're doing work, he'll be like, "How many sheets of sheetrock do I need?" He goes, "Ask Neil," and I watch him. He still asks me, I'm like, "Well, how long is the wall?" And I'll look up and he can say, "See, look, Rain Man, he's figuring it out in his head. He's putting it together in his head." And I'm like, "Yeah, leave me alone. Shut up. I'm doing this." And I'll give him an exact calculation because I visually see, like as a 12 by 12, I visually see the 8-foot sheets going in and count them in my head. And I'm doing all that stuff in my, just, I do things weird.
No, but that's partly experience too. Like I worked at a building supplies company.
I do it for most everything mathematical.
Yep. That's the estimators. They go out with their measuring tapes. They measure it all out and they're like, this is how much. We call it drywall here though. Drywall or sheetrock.
And yeah, it's both here.
Yeah.
Who you talk to,
how
I
many
guess.
4x8 sheets you need, how many 10 footers and how many 12 footers, how much waterboard, how much fireboard.
Yeah, I do it for like running footage for trim. Like he wanted to do something special in his music room. We took out the rat runs because we had to put the sheetrock up in the top of the roof trusses to where the truss is exposed and the sheetrock's on top. So the rat runs were like in fucked up positions. So I talked him into getting some real nice wood and put them up there and put them in a certain location. So it kind of helps with the sound breakup and shit like that, since it is a music room, a sound room. And he could also run strips of lighting on it and stuff. And I figured out what size to get, whether it was 8 footers or 12 footer or 10 footers. And we did it. And we only had like 1 foot cutoffs extra. 2 1-foot cutoffs.
Nice.
Yeah, I do it for everything like that. That's why I stay in the construction field, man. I did it at 181 Fremont Street. It's a 57-story downtown San Francisco. They were using my rigging card. When I was down on the ground, we had a truckload of decking. It was, I figured it to be about 14,000 pounds. So I got 3/4 inch, 2 3/4 inch chokers and cradle them, which is good for like 30-some thousand pounds each, right? So I could cover 60,000 pounds, and it was only like, it ended up being 12,500 pounds. And the contractor's rigger came down there and questioned me. Don't ever do that. I know what the fuck I'm doing. I looked at this guy, and I ended up getting him fired. I look at this guy. He goes, "You don't even know how much that weighs." I said, "Dude, I've been doing this shit for 20-some years. I'm telling you right now, it weighs less than 15,000 pounds, and I got it rigged for 60. What the hell do you want?" He said, started to bring this shit up. He goes, "Do you ever even have a rigging card?" So I broke out my rigging card. I said, "Look at this." And he wanted to touch it. I said, "Hell no, now show me yours." And he didn't even have a rigging card. He was that contractor's certified rigging inspector for all lifts in downtown San Francisco. I mean, I put up such a bitch because he challenged me. I got him fired. And he worked for my boss. Fucking challenged me on shit. I know what I know. You 10,000 people walking around us. You think I'm going to take responsibility with something lifting tons over their heads without knowing what the fuck I'm doing? You got to be responsible, man. I'm crazy. I'm whatever, but I'm also very safe. I know what I'm doing. If I'm lifting 20,000 pounds over your head, it's rigged properly.
Yeah, you need to see the problems before they happen.
Very much so. They wanted to hire me on the Golden Gate Bridge to work a night shift. All I was supposed to do is pre-set up everything that they would want for the day shift and have it all set out for them. And I was like, I'd take the job if it wasn't night shift. Because the wind at night on the Golden Gate Bridge is worse than in the daytime.
Oh, I bet.
I passed that job up. I could be working on the Golden Gate Bridge.
I heard that a lot of indigenous people were in the construction crews for these bridges and the high-rise build, like working at heights.
They labeled me a Skywalker when I was on the East Coast as a connector, the Navajo. Or was it Mohican? No, I think it was Navajo dudes. Navajo Indians up there in New York area. Up in your area.
Yeah, so you would have worked with a lot of them then.
Yeah, they called me a Skywalker because I used to run the iron. I literally run on that iron.
You'd be tied off though too, right?
No. No, that didn't. I didn't start. That was before harnesses were invented, brother. Harnesses. The first time I was introduced to safety in a harness is when I came out here to California in '96. I started ironwork in '93, and I'm sorry. We did have safety, and hear me out and think if this is safe or not. I was working. My first ironworking job was at NAS Pensacola, Florida, on a Navy base. Right, we were doing this 3-5-story buildings, and we had our weight belts, our work belts on, and we have a D ring in the back. It's a steel ring that hooks to your belt. Right, they made us tie off a rope to that ring, and we had to run the steel with that rope. Now tell me, if you fell, what would happen to your body if you only had one attachment point and it was in the middle of your back, your waist area? Would you not like scissor until they fuck yourself up?
Yeah,
that was our safety according to the federal government back in 1993. That's how they made their mandate was for us to do that. So they didn't have safety harnesses when I started, bro. We ran the iron. It was old school.
Yeah.
This safety step, it came up around the millennium, change of the millennium.
Yeah, and with
still do. I came up with a whole safety system for high rises that's better than the one they have now. And I actually did start a company, Han Solo Ironworks, out here in California, right before COVID. But that's why I don't have money now, because I threw a lot of money to get that fucker started. I got my C51, my Ironworkers Structural Steel Contractors license, got everything lined up, and then COVID hit, and no one wanted to do their freaking job. And I didn't have the cash to outlast them, so I had to close it down before I even started. And so, yeah, fucked me hard, man.
Well, the good news is I think Long Live Coins is going to be coming up any minute, and the Wealth of Nations.
He better us too. And I want Tully back. But I'll be content that she just stopped by for 30 seconds. I'll give her hell on her show. I'm gonna mess with Indy. She's supposed to stop by. Or did she already? Did any independent minis stop by?
I didn't see her. I missed the first couple minutes.
I didn't see her. I don't think
sometimes they're lurking. Like she's moderating in a lot of fairly large, especially music channels. And
my level of care when I'm live about that is I'm more important than that. She needs to get her ass over here because I'm vain. Right.
But it's kind of like the same thing, you got a whole bunch of tabs open. And I try to do 20 things at the same time.
I mean, seriously, I'm Ninja's moderator. If I wanted fucking publicity for my channel, do you not think I could get it?
Oh yeah.
He's got over 400,000 on one channel and over 100,000 on another. I could have him talk about me and I'd get 10,000 subscribers. I asked him not to.
That's right. All you'd have to do is put your link in the chat and say, would you guys mind subscribing to Neil for me?
Yep. I could do that easy. He's offered, and I told him no.
Why would you say no? Why?
Because I want people to come to me because they want to come to me. Because they hear about me, not because someone told them to. Then you got someone that's subscribing to you that doesn't like your shit. Or doesn't want to hear your shit, I'd rather just organically grow. It's happening. It's happening, Oh, yeah. I like walking my path. I appreciate people wanting to help.
Yeah.
What I appreciate more is if I ask for it, help.
Yeah.
I appreciate you wanting help, but I don't need it. Your help, JM, or this shit here we're doing on this stuff. I need help with that. I'll ask you. I've asked you for your help, but unless I ask, I don't want. If you can, sure, whatever. I'm not going to stop people from helping me, but I'm not the kind of person that relies on people knowing that people are going to help me to get anywhere. Yeah, I know that I can do it on my own, and if somehow that confidence in myself gets more backing by people who want to help me, then fine. But it's that confidence in myself that that's, what I'm saying? I'm me.
Yeah. You want to be able to look back and say, I did it on my own.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to say, I rode his coattails to this.
Wasn't getting handouts.
No, this is my rocket ship, baby. I'm on the rocket ship. Whoa! Turn up the nitro. Whoa, we're going.
Speaking of handouts, I got to go get a refill. I'll be back in about 3 minutes.
Right on. I'm going to go ahead and put my hand out and then stick it up to my mouth and take the other hand and light the lighter.
Cool. See you in a bit.
Anyone want a virtual hit? You're welcome. Be up at 5. Okay. That was 6 minutes ago. Long live coins. Mm. Is it the Mohawk Indians that are up there in New York, Northeast New York, Pennsylvania, around Delaware, Baltimore, that area? I worked up there in a couple buildings. See, that's a great thing, John Bathy. I have pictures of myself up at the 57th floor. Matter of fact, one picture I have on Facebook, I took a picture of the sun rising over the Bay Bridge, and the top of the towers of the bridge matched the background mountains, to where when the sun came up, I had to go down one floor and over to the northeast corner of the building and lean out. But I was able to get a picture to where the tower of the bridge, the first tower off Treasure Island, the sun, it made it look like a candle. It's a badass picture. And I had the Indians in the Northeast, they called me a Skywalker. They labeled me as Skywalker. And I got that from Indians. So screw the rest of the ironworkers. I know what I'm doing because I got the original Indian calling me that. Hey, look, I just got a notification for my live stream an hour after it was sent out. Glad YouTube's working. Glad I got a notification. Actually, I actually don't get notifications for a lot of shit. I mean, I'm like register. Actually, yeah, very good at it. It runs in the family, John BC. My brother was Halo Jump Master of the Army, the turn of the millennium, from like 2003 to 2006, 2005, somewhere around there. He was Halo Jump Master of the Army. And you know what that means. It's high altitude, low opening jumps. He's oxygen mask up 20, 25, 30,000 foot, and you open about 5,000 or 6,000. He was the Halo Jump Master of the Army. And my good friend at adult high school, Sean Maloney, his dad was the Navy's Halo Jump Master of the SEALs. So I hung out with him as a kid. That's why I don't like people that talk negative about America. Because Sean Maloney's dad was a great man. He died a long time ago. He's a very, very, very great American. He told me lots of stories of shit that he used to do. Probably most of them are classified. And he was retired medical out. He was fucked up. He was kind of like you, John. He's seen some shit and he got messed up. Jake the Snake Roberts, with his custom parts for pizzas and pizza ovens and sales of pizza for 1 ounce of silver during bad times. What's up, Jake? Oh, hold on here. I got long live corns here. Holy shit. No, wait, what? I pushed the wrong button. Oh, hold on here. I got long live corns here. You gotta do something with that volume. Wait, but
hey, yeah, can you mute me, Neil?
Can I mute you? Hell, is that it? But now I can't hear you. No, it's not a deal yet, Jake. It's not a deal yet, Jake. It's a hopeful deal. On my part, it's totally hope. And from conversations I had with a friend. I'm hoping it's a good deal. I'm hoping I'd like to see it. I'd like to be the platinum guy for Miles Franklin. I'm getting as a matter of fact, I'm going to be checking my emails. The guy next door should send me the email downloadable links for all of the video cuts for the commercial, and I'm going to send them to Chris and let them work on them.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, they didn't have a lot of things where you were on, John. They came up with that shit. They came up with the Green Berets when you were in. Are you better off there? I was asked to mute Long Live Coins. I just unmuted him because I don't like muting people.
Why were you asked to mute him?
He asked me to.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know why. That or I heard him wrong. I have smoked some tonight, so it is possible I heard him wrong. No, it's not, but I'll use this as an excuse.
So now you've got the comment up with the platinum special from Andy Scheckman, Miles Franklin. The only issue with leaving that up is it doesn't show the channel names. So if you look over in StreamYard off to the right, there you go. Yeah, remove last comment. Then it shows it again. So
That's cool. Everyone knows. And like I said, I'm going to have the commercial out here soon. So everyone who watches anything to do with Miles Franklin or hopefully Andy Scheckman, hopefully they'll be pumping that commercial on all those channels. And we all know how many shows Andy Scheckman's on.
yep.
Can you hear me, Neil?
Yes.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, there's no echo. Thank you. Thank you very much. That was a good job. Whatever you made me mute you for, it worked.
All right, cool. Let me know if you hear any echo because it might be on my end.
You sound good.
Cool.
I'm waiting for that. I'm a bad rapper. Sorry. I don't do good song. Dude. That beat.
Terrible rapper.
Man, that beat he had going. There was the one song you had going last night, I think it was.
Yeah.
Man, that shit was like it was like the build up and how they did it. It was a low bass. I don't know what instrument it was, but it was a low bass. It would kick in a little bit of a rhythm, and then it would go through the chorus, and then it'd come back with a little bit more, and it was like a build up to it, and then it just broke. It was like that. I liked it. It was good. I commented when it happened. I was like, that's some kick-ass music.
Cool.
But I don't know what it was, but it was good. I enjoyed the shit out of it.
Thank you.
I've only caught 2 of those live streams from Long Live Coins. And a big part of the reason that I'm not in there is because it's like the auction thing. And
yeah, he does auctions.
Yeah, and I don't do any online buying at all. Plus, I'm in Canada, and I already know the shipping is just brutal. To Canada. So
well, as long as we support each other and like and share, you know, that's the next best thing because you have a lot of American folks that watch your show.
Oh yeah.
You know, so that's
you're more than welcome to hang out for sure. You don't have to buy anything to hang out. That's for sure.
Yeah.
See, like I used to hang out at Coin Crew quite a bit too. I love the auctions, you know, when I was just trying to learn. And I found it was a great way to learn because they give you the information about it. You see what it's worth from people bidding and get to know the community that way. But I've kind of stopped doing that for the same reason. Like I'm just kind of hit that knowledge point where I'm not going to be spending hours of time learning it.
Sure.
But the thing that I'm going to find attractive there is that it does have that, but also the music. So you'll definitely see me there.
I am not crazy by Crazy Lady.
Welcome in.
Interesting name. I like it.
She's awesome. She's a great person. I think she came over from my previous live stream. Thanks for coming in.
And also, Long Live Coins is a beekeeper.
No, not a beekeeper.
You're not a beekeeper. I thought you were. You have a lot of bee stuff going on there.
Yeah, no, and I have some contacts with him, but I don't.
Okay.
I just use it as a.
I like that bee right between the two guns there.
Yeah. In fact, I have another one over here. I get these from T, the Silver Stacker. His auction. He pours silver, and I got this one at his auction the night I formed my channel, and since I use a B in my logo, which is where you're probably getting that, and I call myself the B at LLC.
Yeah.
So
and I used to, you know, I'm a master beekeeper. I don't have bees right now, but so I just associated it with beekeeping.
That's what I heard you say. That's awesome, and I heard you, or I seen you comment one time. It takes 1,000 bees to have a hive. Is that right?
Oh no. Hives are all different sizes. No, 100,000 plus makes a nuke, which is like a 3. That's a nuke probably has like 20,000 hives in them.
That's what it was.
Bees in them, and they that's like a 3 to 5 frame nuke, either small nuke or big nuke, and that's half or less than half of a starting hive. But when they swarm, dude, I got videos. I got so many videos. I have videos where I was showered. There was 2 hives I didn't check out because I'm a dumbass. It was in a tree. I was going to extract the lower hive by just shaking it because they had combed down naturally, just hanging onto each other, to where if I shook the tree, that all 90% of them would fall in the box. Guaranteed I get the queen. So I go to do that, and they don't move. So I shaked it harder, right? What I didn't see is I didn't look above me. There was 2 hives that had swarmed, and that second hive broke loose and landed right on my head and just went all. I got rained on by about 150,000 bees. I got it on video.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of cool now, but they don't bite me. But
yeah,
it was an interesting experience. I never had a shower of bees before.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, especially when unexpected. As I was making a video about how to collect hives, this happened. So I totally made an ass of myself, trying to look professional and shit. This is how you do it, and you shake it. And then, it's like total comedy, man. Never put it out because of that reason,
but you can do it, you can do it as a blooper. Do it as
yeah,
a
it happens.
Yeah, that would be number 1 blooper for sure.
Yeah, funny. Clear Lake Drive. He's the beekeeper.
And here's some too. If you want to get your tax money back from the state you live in, become a beekeeper. Call up Terminex, Orkin, and all the local pesticide areas, and leave your name with them, saying to have whoever calls them for bee removal to call you, because none of them do bee removal because they can't kill bees. And eventually you'll get a job for the state. Charge them up the ass and get your tax money back. Because I ended up working for the state on I got like $35,000 for 10 extractions.
Wow, that's interesting, because I was thinking about getting a hive.
Yeah, no, I totally. So when I bitch about taxes, I don't really bitch about them, because I've gotten so much money from the state, because I charge $300 to $500 for an extraction. But when the state called me, $3,500 and up, starting price $3,500.
Nice.
And they had no problem paying it. There was not a question at all. I was like, yeah, I'm getting my taxes back now, baby.
Nice.
That's a great idea.
Hell yeah. I screw the system all the time, man.
The roaming prepper.
The roaming prepper. What's up, my man? He's locked and loaded with a lot of good information on preparedness and what the things to look out for before they happen, so that you won't be part of anything that happens. I like his show. He's got a good show as well.
Cool.
Good to see a roaming prepper.
I appreciate you stopping by, roaming prepper. Yeah, Jake has to be here. I'd call him up if he wasn't here. So he says, fuck it, I'll show up, save me the problem of harassing me on the phone, and you get a restraining order on him.
Right.
Yeah, and I posted the link for Long Live Coins and for Not Crazy Lady.
Yes, please. Please feel free to post those links, peoples.
Thank you.
I might even, if the roaming prepper's nice enough, I might even post his link.
Sweet. Roaming prepper. See, now that's what I'm talking about. See, those actually, roaming prepper go hand in hand, bro. Gun shows, silver and gold coin people. It's like, those are like, that's like American rights stuff. Yeah, you should pack a 6-shooter on your fucking thigh and pull out your gold coin to pay for your horse. That's nice.
There's a little bee on the back stamped there. Can you see that?
Yeah. And then you got stars 14 and 320. You got a whole bunch of things stamped up.
Yeah, it was number 14 of his pores.
Oh, okay, that's okay. I knew they all had meaning.
What is he started his
it's
4.1 ounces.
Okay.
And a star, yeah, just some other, and his logo in the middle there. Yeah. Ounce Troy. 3 9s, 14. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jake, I got I'm gonna be sending a lot of the video off to Chris the next day or two. Guy next door is gonna email it to me in a downloadable link, and I'm gonna just forward it to Chris.
So the roaming prepper, these are T the Silver Stacker pours. He has an auction every like Friday or Saturday. I have fun over there, and I have a B in my logo. And so since I found him pouring these, I've been picking them up. They're just a poured piece of silver.
There's a lot of good folks pouring silver on YouTube with their channels.
Yep.
Like Tully, she does her heart.
T the Silver Stacker.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Thule, she's starting to get going on some pours too. Did you say she was over here earlier?
She did a drive-by.
Nice. Yeah, she stopped in last night in the spinning bin as well. That was nice.
Someone just lit up something.
Yeah, it's just a cigarette.
Oh, damn. I was disappointed. I'll do the real thing.
It's diversification.
Back on diversification. That's what's going to happen with our power plants for vehicles. There's going to be a diversification of engine types and fuel sources of it being introduced starting this year into next year. Ammonia engines, two-cylinder that run like four-cylinder, some new style of fucking piston design they came up with. Badass. And then there's going to be a hydrogen biodiesel. There's going to be biodiesel, which Willie Nelson's been working on for years. And there's going to be all kinds of alternative power plant systems for vehicles that's going to diversify the whole population. And in doing that, it'll get more people off of the combustion engine and oil-based car than just the electric cars. I mean, once people start seeing these other renditions of technologies, the electric car will be.
What else is really neat is last night I watched about a 20-minute documentary on Cuba, going through Havana, and the old cars that they have, like the
1950s cars, dude. I've seen documentaries. Those guys are not allowed to get any imports for replacement parts, and they have become so well adversed at manufacturing parts to replace those 1950 parts on those cars, dude. They can manufacture their own replacement parts.
It was amazing, man, and it was just recorded like a couple months ago. And
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, they're in hot pink, like paint, and it looks like looks like, not all of them, but 2/3 of them look like they're brand new. But yeah, almost no modern cars at all. I saw one or two that looked like a Camry or something like that, but it probably got shipped in from somewhere else. The vast majority were old cars.
Answer Jake here. There's no power out at my house, so I don't know about anyone else here in California. And roaming prepper, there's already a major car company advertising the sale of a hydrogen hybrid engine, and they're already offering it for sale to the general public. So it's already come out. My Skydive 11, how's it going? When are you getting the 12th Skydive in? Sorry, I'm a smartass.
Hi, Skydive. But I think what Roaming Prepper was saying is that it's still very carbon heavy for hydrogen.
All I know for a fact is they changed the law out here, expanding the scope of the union ironworkers for public funded labor projects to include carbon sequestration, solar power plant generation, and hydrogen plants, for which 4 of them we're building, and Chevron's going to be building 30 hydrogen fueling stations throughout California. That's already on the books, paid for, getting ready to kick off. That I do know. So whatever the problems they're having with hydrogen, it don't matter. They're going forward with it.
What was the first one you listed off? Neil?
Carbon sequestration devices. They've got some carbon thing where they're going to be like shoving carbon into the ground out here in wetlands or some crap like that. And there's other devices they're going to be adding to the stacks, the smokestacks that they're findings and shit for carbon sequestration. And that all that work falls under the Union Iron Workers.
Got you.
See, and I heard that many of these very well-known billionaires are buying up huge acreage of forested land through their companies. So their companies are selling their own stock and buying massive forested areas, because speculation is that the new rules that are coming out, they're going to be able to use that as carbon credits against their carbon emissions. They can say, but look, we own 10,000.
That's going away, by the way.
That's what?
That's going away. The carbon credit bullshit.
I heard there's new rules that
it's going away.
I hope so.
Oh, it's going away. There's going to be such change coming.
Osmium. Maybe we should put Long Live Coins on full screen for this.
Hey, you know what I should have done? I should have put my freaking interview with Ian on as an opening for this video.
No doubt.
just for you, Long Live Coins listeners. I got there first. I just didn't follow up.
No doubt.
You did a great. You've done excellent more than one follow up on interviews with him, and I did a shitty job on interviewing. So I'm just messing with you. I appreciate that you picked up on Ian. He's a good guy to be promoting. I was going to try, but the interview I did with him was childish at best.
Dude, we'll have him hop back on your show at some point. I think I got him
more to where he can get more viewers.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to be having him on a couple times a month. So
yeah, no, he's like an Andy Sheckman as far as I'm concerned. That's matter of fact, right? And here's some interesting news. The day I interviewed him, the day before that, Rob Kinks, and I think it was Rob Kinks, and he was in business, or that other guy, Rob, in Texas.
Rob Kinks in Texas.
Okay. Yeah. He just broke up their partnership the day before I interviewed him.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And
as I talked to him, but I didn't get that on video because I didn't. But I don't like. And I told him, and I told Ian too. I was like, dude, you just don't know how much that's the best thing that ever happened to you.
Oh yeah, could be. I don't know.
He's gotten a lot more. He's gotten a lot bigger going on his own, away from Rob and Rob's.
Yeah, I don't know
particular viewpoints on things.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, for one, that Rob guy challenged me on is there silver in fucking Texas? Do a historical search and you'll find out, yeah, there's a lot of silver been pulled out of mines in Texas. And he was telling me they don't pull silver out of Texas. I'm like, is your channel called Gold and Silver Pro?
Is that Rob Kinks?
Yeah.
Well,
he actually answered me back in chat because I told him he was in Austin and there's a silver mine, an old silver mine, fucking like 190 miles almost directly north, or 100 miles or 90 miles. It's either 100 or 90 miles directly north of where he was. They were panning, looking for where the silver vein was coming from or some shit like that. And they were going to look to open a mine in Texas, a silver mine. 2022, I think it was, when I had that discussion with him.
Well, it's not.
There's no silver in Texas. There's no silver mines in Texas. I was like, boy, your Ivy League school screwed you hard.
I don't know myself, but I know it's not that far from Mexico, so I wouldn't think.
Well, I know this much right now. I know I'm dumb enough to where if I'm going to open my mouth to someone else and have it video recorded, I'm going to know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Right. I figure you do.
You know, I ain't going to come up here and 10 years later, someone show me talking bullshit.
Right.
I don't want that. Now, it's facts might change to change up what I believe now, and that's called growing in life, evolution, technology differences. You know, I did a show, a video on sea mining. I just re-looked at it yesterday. There was like 17 companies had to be put together just to be able to come up with the technology and the resources to be able to go 5,000 foot deep, a little over a mile or 2 miles into the ocean, just to check for what type of resources were there. And they found like 4,000 or 5,000 new life forms without sea mining.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to find out all those life forms before we allow them to kill them off. So sea mining's out for natural resources on a deep level.
Regarding John Beatty's comment there, companies from all around have been trying to buy his land, can't figure out why.
Do a mineral fucking survey.
I can guarantee you there's a reason. There's no way a company's not going to waste their time trying to buy your land unless there's a good reason.
What you need to do, John, start setting up defenses that they can see driving up, so that way they know they got themselves a Rambo on their hand and they'll leave you the fuck alone.
Well, they want to give them money.
Shit, we got a war veteran here. He ain't gonna sell to us. I seen Rambo.
Right. They're after oil, water, minerals, or maybe they want to put a road through there. Something.
Now, if they want a road, they'll do eminent domain. If he doesn't sell, that's legal. They can eminent domain if they can show that it's a valid use for the public to be able to route the road through his property. They can eminent domain that portion of his property for that use.
It's like expropriating, kind of.
I don't know. All I know is that the government can legally take your shit. They can do it for gas pipelines. We actually had a protest they showed on national TV several years ago with Indian women getting beaten down because there was a gas pipeline going through their land. It was called eminent domain, and they were protesting it.
Well, have you seen the Great Taking?
Nope.
But
I closed my brokerage account and I only stick as much money in the bank as I need. Does it have anything to do with that? I don't think I need to read it. I don't need to see it then, because I already know what's going on. If they made a movie about it, I've already read the book.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's nothing there, that you haven't seen. In fact, that's the very term that is used in that quite often.
Oh, cool. I actually showed a picture to Jake's Custom Parts of Charles Schwab sent me a message on video, and I captured a picture of it and showed him, and it said, "We are not FDIC insured. We are not." Everything stated the way I read things. It said one thing, I'm sure, but the way I read it was, "Hey, we are a gamble. You're probably going to lose everything, and we're not responsible." And that's what I got from it. I'm sure they stated something else. I showed Jake Custom Parts. I showed him, I sent it to him, and it said something else. But basically what I saw was, you're going to lose money, invest in us. It's not insured, and we're not going to give you anything.
Yeah.
Kind of sort of what I got out of their legal terminology.
Yep.
Like I said, I get things, I see things, I read them, and I see it differently than other people. With all that legal jargon, it's like, basically what they're saying is they're going to steal my money.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what The Great Taking is. It's just a documentary on this lawyer who kind of came out and said they're gonna do that, except basically to the whole world.
Buy silver and platinum.
Exactly.
So that's my go-to phrase for 2 years now, brother.
I
for
know,
a reason.
Man.
For a reason.
That's probably why I'm here right now. Because your statement, buy silver and platinum, I've always backed it.
Yeah, a lot of people said, when I started saying that, I had people, people were hating on me. Is that all you got to say? I'm like, no, but I know human psychology, and that's all I need to say.
Yeah.
The smart ones will get it. You dummies will just make fun of me.
Right.
Yeah, and that's where I don't talk about them, because it goes back to some smart genius from back in the Greek times. Small-minded people talk about people. Great minds talk about ideas. So I don't talk about people because it's a waste of time. I've got so many ideas I can talk about that are better than talking about people.
Right.
It's got nice branding to it. It's got a nice ring to it.
What does?
Buy silver and platinum.
That's because it's true. Truth usually rings through.
But
right now, they are the best assets. Honestly,
and this is interesting here. Ian sent me a little video just after our last interview, after I bought my first piece.
Uh-huh.
And man, there's some. In fact, the institute that put the movie out just dropped it, and maybe I'll send you a copy of the link. But it's some pretty interesting information in there.
Yeah, I actually knew it was a Platinum Group's metal, and I knew about it, but I didn't think anyone was fucking with it because it's so small a market. You know, it's like it's smaller than Platinum, and Platinum's small. Talk about one person can monopolize that quick.
Yeah, and in its raw form, it's it can give off chemical gases, deadly gases, and whatnot. So the fact that they were able to find a way to make it the most inert material on Earth and the most beautiful, precious metal that there is amazing.
And it's hard.
Exactly.
And it's hard.
Yep.
And you know what that leads me to think? All that you just told me? Nuclear coated uranium cell for an energy source, or osmium coated.
Well, that's it. Yeah, each piece has its own code. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know about what you're talking about, but I know that
that would be the next step, because the reason why I didn't look at it, because when I was looking at it, when I first got into Platinum, they didn't have a way to do what they're doing now to take the toxicity, that part away from it, to make it to where you can deal with it. So I didn't look at it because I was like, it's like a uranium. Yeah, if I can't hold it, I don't own it. So, and it was like, so some people did their thing. Ian stayed on top of it and hooked up with the people that did their thing to make it where it doesn't kill you for fucking with it like it used to, basically.
Yep.
And I didn't stick with the osmium, or there's like there's 6 metals. Palladium, platinum,
rhodium,
rhodium, osmium,
iridium, or something like that.
Iridium. Yeah. That's it. Iridium. Yeah. So there's 3 that I didn't keep up with. Osmium is one of them. Had I kept up with it, I'd be able to tell Ian some shit, but I didn't keep up with it because at the time, like I said, platinum. I was drawn to platinum and silver because of they are the best value out there right now that I see that you can throw money at. I mean, 2008, gold was $1,011 in March 2008. It was $1,011. Platinum was $2,230. That was in 2008.
Right.
BRICS, South Africa joined BRICS in 2010. That's about the time that platinum started going lower than gold for the first time in history. You put the charts together with the geopolitical scenarios, and you can see why the price of platinum is now cheaper. And it's because of the geopolitical reasons. Geopolitical doesn't last. It comes to an end eventually, what they're doing. And when that does, platinum it can easily quadruple the price of gold. Because historically, forever, you go back to 1900, 1930, 1960, 1980, 2000, platinum was twice the price of gold. It always has been.
Right.
Always, until 2010, when we started an economic war against BRICS. Put it together.
Yeah. No, sure.
It's a simple deduction to come to that you can prove by looking at the recent history, compare it to historical facts, and you'll be like, holy shit, this is a good deal. I don't know when it's going to pop up, but I do know right now you can get it for 25% of its true value and 25% less than what it costs to mine it. I mean,
I agree. I agree with pretty much everything
in history. There has never been an opportunity to make wealth off of this house called platinum. Yeah, it's not. People might say, "Oh, it's not money." You're right, but you can damn sure make a lot of money off of it when it does come back to its normal rate of exchange. That's unmanipulated. You will make a lot of money.
Say, do you know do you have a variety of platinum that you can get, or is it like?
I'm I gotta get further in to be able to do that. What I would love to see is every month a new platinum deal for a different thing. I'd like to see fractional deals. I'd like them to give me some fractional deals better than the 5 at, was it 5/10? That was one, 5 10th ounce platinum coins for $25 over spot, which was a good deal, but you had to buy 5.
Okay.
I'd like to see a deal like that go for you have to buy 2 or 3. So that way more people have access to it.
Yeah.
So more people that get platinum, even a little bit. And I've said this before, and it doesn't have to be 1 ounce. It could be 1/10 of an ounce. You get 1/10 of an ounce. You will eventually be able to trade that 1/10 of an ounce in for 2/10 of an ounce of gold.
Right. Probably. What?
There's Tully.
What are you?
Tully's in the chat, LC.
She's okay. Hold on. Tully's in the house. Tully, welcome in. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Tully.
Yeah. So what's the variety on those 10th ounce that you can get?
No, it's I haven't got it. They had that deal.
Okay.
That deal, yeah. I didn't have a commercial at that point in time.
Why were you talking about nuclear with the code? Why does nuclear need something like that why were you connecting that? Because that interests me.
Nuclear? Because they've been looking for a long time to be able to take a single uranium cell and code it to where it's non-hazardous, because it still has energy and it can last 50 to 80 years. They just need a source, a hard carbon source that won't kill you. Like diamond is what they've been looking at, but osmium is actually better.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's just a thought that came up in my head. I don't know if any science has done it. I do know they have been working on doing diamond coated uranium cells as power sources. Huh. But I off the top of my head, since this new thing came up that Ian's been exposing, I can see a reason to research into the possibility of using osmium as a better protective layer over diamond, because it's more dense.
It's the most abrasion resistant and most inert thing that there is. So
that's why I had that thought. I was like, holy shit, now that they've made it to where it doesn't kill you, it's useful. And the first use that popped in my head was replace their thoughts of doing a man-made diamond coating around a nuclear around a uranium cell. Now here's something that you got to ask yourself. Okay, we're making and for all our lifetimes we've been making nuclear missiles, and we've been taking the waste and saving it. Now here I got something for you to think about. Russia and America, we got the largest supply, and both of us hold our old supplies of uranium. What if one day something comes along like what I just mentioned, maybe osmium, and they coat one cell of that spent fuel that we have a whole shitload of and use it as an energy source? And that's why they've been storing it. And as a matter of fact, that's why they've manufactured nuclear holocaust, so that we would throw money at refining the nuclear stuff to get the uranium waste that can be used as a fuel source for the future, as soon as we learn how to protect the coating to use it as a fuel source.
Wouldn't surprise me one bit.
It's very interesting.
Dude, we could so easily fly that shit off to the sun and get rid of that shit, no problem. Why are we keeping it and keep on using it, keep on making it and make more and more, and we keep making more and more? And it's at taxpayer expense that we're making all this fucking spent uranium stuff, and we're saving it. That's a fuel source for some. That's an energy source. We just need the technology to cover it in a hard substance like what osmium could present as a possibility.
Right.
To, I don't know, that's just from past research on diamonds and that,
Yeah,
but anyway.
I know they got some smart scientists over there in Germany working on it. So
yeah, no, and they're probably already been in touch with the DoD,
right.
And they've already probably talked about that stuff.
You never know. It's an interesting thought. Yeah, I didn't even know.
But I have played one on TV. Does that count, Tully?
Did you stay at a Holiday Inn last night, Neil?
Yes, I did.
That's all you need. That's credentials.
No, what I think it is there's a bill that's going to be going through Congress that no one knows about. They've been trying to push through. This is the second or third time they're trying to push it through. It might make it through this year. And if this bill does make it through, it gives companies 6 months to come clean on all the technology that they've been using and making stuff with and reselling to us for profit, basically off of stuff that we paid for them to figure out. And after 6 months, if they don't come clean with all that information, the federal government will actually go after them and prosecute them for basically grand theft of the American people. Because apparently 70 years ago, something happened and a couple companies got a hold of the shit, reverse engineered some shit, came up with some technology and have been selling it back to us when it was our money they used to reverse engineer it. And that's technically illegal. And this bill that's going through Congress is going to address that issue. A lot of people, actually hardly anyone knows about it, but now you guys do. You can research it. So yeah, you know, there's going to be monstrous amount of technological changes coming our way here in the next couple of years that are going to just blow your fucking mind. You might see our military get decreased by 70% manpower and replaced by robotic and unmanned vessels and stuff like this. I did a couple of reports in the past couple of days of several countries that are, because of the Chinese thing, are coming up with autonomous submarines, autonomous boats, autonomous fucking tank rocket launchers that are, and the Marines are looking at getting rid of, one of their strategies is to get rid of, that's nice osmium right there.
Yeah, Tuli, I don't know if you're still in here or not, but you should take a look at the 8th and last precious metal, the most rarest element on Earth, most inert, most abrasion resistant. There's some amazing properties to this stuff, and it's just kind of hitting the scene. And
because of technology,
you should check it out. So it's an asset that you hold. It's a precious metal, and it's also an investment that you have a code that's listed with the Osmium Institute, and so the piece can't be stolen from you and resold.
Well, it can be stolen, but it can't be resold. From my understanding, what they do is they take a picture of the actual osmium itself, and each piece has its own. It's like 10,000 times more than recognizable than a fingerprint to that individual piece, and it can't be replicated. And then they take that picture and assign it to the owner. You can turn over ownership if you sell it, but that stays recorded so that if your piece ever gets stolen and someone does try to sell it and someone goes to authenticate it, it gets flagged as stolen and you get your shit back.
And so we're looking at osmium.
A lot of safety features in it. A lot of built-in safety features.
Yeah, so it's what's highlighted there in the middle. That's the piece of osmium, and then in the middle of the ring here,
round ring, the center of the ring. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's just like, here's a disc of it. That disc could be like $100,000,
if not more.
Gotcha.
So it's like, it's sold by the gram. It's about $1,400, a little over a gram right now, and it's been climbing. It came out a few years ago, and it's just like, I don't know, I had a 15 or 20% increase a year. It's just been steadily going up, but it's just kind of hitting the scene. Like Neil was saying, there's just been some
technological revolutions that have made it possible for it to be on retail sales.
Yep, a scientist sold like 5 of his businesses once he found out about this, and been working on it for 40 years, and they finally came up with this, and it's kind of taken off. So, but it's going to be the first metal to sell out. Everybody's pretty sure. So. Oh
yeah, well, it's so rare.
And it's not something like gold or silver where it will melt back down. So it's the most inert, most scratch resistant, densest, can't be replicated. So it's not going to be reformed. So like when you buy a piece of jewelry with it, it's going to be handed down, and it's an asset that
you can't reshape it.
Yep. And so there's a lot of very interesting things with it, and the more I look into it, the more excited I get about it. So
it's a generation,
something cool to check out anyway.
No, it's definitely worth investing in. Like I said, it's a precious metals group metal, and I've known about it. I just didn't know the technology came about recently to where they can do what they're doing with it.
Yep.
For a long time, do anything with it. So, my eyes went to platinum. But it is a platinum group metal. And they will find some of it probably in Canada when they open up their platinum mine that they'll open up in the next couple of years. They'll probably find some there as well.
Let's hope so, because the other platinum, where's it coming from, Neil? Like Russia and South Africa, where's our platinum coming from?
Right now, no, most of it South Africa, about 80, somewhere 85% coming from South Africa.
Okay, South Africa. And then Russia's the other?
Russia has a nickel mining company. As they were digging for nickel, they came across a PGM vein. So they followed it. It's not like they intentionally went after platinum, but they discovered some, and they produce about 5 to 7% of the platinum used.
Oh, okay. Not that big.
And then America up in Montana has a placer platinum mine, produces about 14,000 ounces a year. But it was bought by a Siskiyou company that's owned by Impala Mines, the South African mining company. And there is a new company out there called Clean Air Energy or something like that owns the mineral rights up there in Ontario. And they just discovered a pretty decent sized Platinum Group's metal vein. And they are already projecting that they're going to be the primary platinum miner to the world as soon as the platinum prices go up to make it feasible for them to open up their mine in that area. They have everything they need, the rights, all the legal stuff.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, so America is going to take over the platinum, primary platinum miner of the world here as soon as we bankrupt South Africa, which is what's happening.
It's a penny stock. I think it's 6 cents a share. And I told my buddy about it because you mentioned it, a week or so, maybe 2
Yeah,
weeks ago.
on one of my videos, yeah.
And on live stream.
Yeah, I try and push everything that I'm Mr. Platinum, bro. I think it's going to work out great for America, personally.
That's good news for us. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah. And there's going to be more discoveries that I'm looking into that might be coming up later if the price goes up. I think there's going to be a discovery possibly found in Colombia and somewhere down either in Argentina or Chile. Most probably Chile, because they're the ones that got most of the mountain range there. And I'm almost positive somewhere in that mountain range there's a platinum vein 700-800 meters underground, because that's very similar to South African terrain or continental shelf wise.
I just shared a screen here. I was looking for the osmium price chart.
Oh, hold on a second. You're sharing a screen. Let me see here. There we go.
Yeah. I couldn't find it in US dollars. This is in euros.
No, so if you go, okay, so there's those blue bars up top.
Yeah.
And there's USD right to the left of. So.
Oh, here.
Yep. And then if you go over to all instead of 1 year, there you go.
And Neil, if you put that on full screen, then everyone can see it.
How do I do that?
There's a little rectangle in the top right of that screen.
Did I do it?
Click on the rectangle or full screen.
You're full.
Yes, sir. You got it.
I think Tully told you to stop showing me eating chocolate cake.
Yeah, I know. What's up with that? So yeah, that's when they basically put it on the market there. In what year was that? Like 2018,
2017, maybe.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
I was digging into platinum back then,
and it was like $500-$600 there when you hold your cursor on it.
Yep, $564.
Yep, and so now it's up to like $1,400 a gram.
$1,475.
There you go, and it's so
that's pretty good.
Tripled in 5 years.
That's not bad. And so there's investment groups. Like I said, it's just getting over here to America. Ian is the first ARC silver gold osmium is the first dealer in North America to retail it.
Yep, he's the only one right now, though, isn't he?
Well, yeah, I think I'm supposed to be getting some in the mail here this week that I'm excited about. He's got a new guy.
No, I mean, as far as dealers, he's the only osmium dealer
Well, he's everybody's kind of going through him. He's got another person down in Texas now.
Oh, okay. I thought he was the only one.
Well, I think that he's got somebody under him down in Texas anyway. So.
But it's under him.
Yeah.
So his group is the only one right now.
Yep.
It's distributing it to their
distributing it. Yep. So, and so that's like I think it's going to be big. There's also they're just opening up the market in China, and there's a couple other ones I can't think off the top of my head where else. But yeah, I mean it's just now coming onto the market in several big areas, including the U.S. And yeah, he's got somebody down in Texas that's going to be helping him move it. And he's got some investors in Florida and in California as well that have came in and are putting a fair amount in. And usually it's like big investment funds, and it's being moved into by, big family funds and whatnot. So yeah, the more I find out about it, the more excited I get about it, because there's a lot of good information about it. And for me, being a precious metal stacker and not doing crypto, this is about as close as I get where you have a code, which I kind of like. At first that made me a bit nervous, but you don't even have to give out your name. All you need is an email address, so you can make
something linking that picture to your possession.
Yep, and then once it gives it to you, and then it also will give you a code, and no one has that but you. And then if you want to resell it, you can enter in all the different information needed and sell it again, and that will transfer it to that person. But yeah, it can't be kind of stolen from you and resold without you knowing about it.
Exactly.
Like
it's like a digital fingerprint of ownership.
Yep. And it can't be replicated because it is the densest element that there is. And like Neil was saying, it has a very unique fingerprint, and the closer you go in to look, the more precise and unique the fingerprint is. So
yeah, it's like 10,000 times. Get off of my desk. It's like 10,000 times more reliable than a human fingerprint for identification.
Yep.
There's so many features, because when you do fingerprints, they look for crossover matching fingers, and that's how they can do a fingerprint identification. This osmium has 10,000 more identification points on it. That's why they picture it, because no two are alike.
And if my math is right, that means an ounce of osmium would be about 45 grand. If my math is right.
1,432 grams times 14. So you're looking at 14. You're looking at 44.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. And those, that disc is probably that I was showing is probably a little over. So like that, it's the most dense too. So, I mean, that would be heavier than you would think.
Jewelry.
So, yeah.
And the fact that it's like I said, it's an inheritable family heirloom jewelry stuff. Your great grandkids will be wearing that stuff when you buy it.
Yeah, and so I was asking my wife, and so I got the first double-sided piece that Ian has ever seen. So I'm excited about that. I'm gonna have it set into a pendant for my wife. And I think you're right. I think I'm going to do it in platinum, Neil.
Dude, I'm hardly ever wrong.
And I'm thinking I need to get her a couple little earrings.
And the reason why I say platinum is because it's actually very protective, coated, strong. It's the best thing to keep it protected, even though it's stronger than platinum. It's just. Right. And they're just so both cohesive together, more so than silver or gold. I mean, they grew up together in the ground. Come on,
exactly.
Man.
There you go.
Yeah, you got to keep them together.
That's what I'm thinking. Yep. So I'm excited about several. So, and we're working with a jeweler down there, one of Ian's jewelers, and there's some cool stuff going on with it. I'm excited about it.
Let's see here.
I think
I think I better jump off.
It's good to see you.
So
you getting out of here?
Yeah, I appreciate you having me up here. And
oh hell, man, you're welcome anytime, brother.
Being kind, helpful, and grateful.
Always. And if you want to check out before you go, this right here is a little 3-minute video of my invention of the mobile beehive and my change of the Langstroth system to a different type system that's more beegonomic, and the bees are actually happier. And you can see that in the video where the only thing I have is I cover my ears with a beanie, because that's why I came up with it as an mobile elephant fencing system, because if you get stung in the ear, you're dead. And bees, elephants know this too, and they stay about 50 yards away from bees before they start turning and running the other direction. And that's where I came up with the idea of using beehives as a mobile elephant fencing system in Zambia, Africa.
Wow,
that's the working prototype in action. I've got the prototype in my garage right now, and I came up with a whole different bottom section that's more friendly and more protective for the bees. And it's just a whole better system, a lot better system.
Is this? I've seen I had a video pop up where the whole floorboard was like like they lifted up the floorboard of the shed and it was a big comb.
That would probably be a bee extraction video you saw.
No.
I've never heard of a beehive growing under a shed before, though.
Yeah, no, it would be a wild bees. I've done extractions in like this Texas billionaire bought a winery up near Youngsville, up in the wine country, several hundred acres, and he wanted to resell it, do something, and the state wouldn't allow him. So we had lunch, and because he had called me up there, because one of the buildings that the old owner of the winery had his people who worked the place stay at, their migrant workers stay at. All the walls had been filled with bees, and I had to tear all the walls out to get, there's like, millions of bees. It took 2-day extraction. But in that 2-day extraction, I had lunch with him, and I told him, I says, well, hey, why don't you go into, instead of selling housing developments, sell vineyards and do a housing development with a 10-acre vineyard on it and call it a small vineyard, and that'll get you around the law. And he ended up doing that, and made him a lot of money. He didn't give me any of it, but I don't care. He was grateful. He paid me.
So this video shows about, so you made this construction of a building here?
Yeah, that trailer thing, and also the redesign. It's the redesigned bottom. The openings are round because in the Langstroth system, it's a straight open piece for the whole hive, and as soon as they go in within a ½ inch, they can get straight into the comb and disappear and totally fuck up the hive. Where that system there, I dropped the bottom 6 inches lower, and I put wine cork size holes in them, because if you do the math on the roundness of it and you add 3 of them up, it's the same length as a straight line like the Langstroth system. Because when Langstroth came up with it, he was thinking like a human. But see, bees can walk upside down. So if you have a round thing like this, they can use the whole thing. And I've got pictures, video of one coming in, one going out, upside down, upside right.
Sure.
They don't care. And as soon as a predator, and I also use 2x6 as the front, because it gives more room for any predators. They've got to go 1 3/4 inches through this hole, and that gives time for the outside bees to signal inside bees, to where there's only like 6 to 8 bees needed to kill a hornet. To where on the Langstroth system, again, as soon as the hornet gets past the entryway, it goes up in the hive and just starts biting the heads off the bees and pretty much wipes out your whole hive. My system allows the bees to defend themselves better, see the enemy before he gets lost up into the comb, a lot of things. And also screened bottom, so when bees die, instead of them being 1/8 inch underneath your honeycomb, lying there dead, waiting to be hauled out, they fall several inches to a screened bottom. That once a week, I just go and drop the screen and kind of sweep out their dead, and it stayed away from it. It was more hygienic.
Yeah, cool.
A whole bunch of shit. I took 6 years developing that son of a bitch. There's a lot in it.
I'll check it out. Cool. All right, cool. Thanks, Neil.
Hey, you take care, man. Talk to you later, brother. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Have a good night, LC.
Yep. Thanks, JM. Good to see you.
You too.
Anyone else want to hop up here? You're more than welcome. Yeah, I know a lot about bees. I also know the U.S. Forest Service came up with a mandate. They just ended the mandate where all of their people, when they came across wild mushrooms out in their little forest runs, they would kill the mushrooms off. And that's the biggest mistake they ever made, because that's so detrimental to the health of the forest. They've actually figured it out, and they revised their decision, and now are telling their people not to kill the mushrooms out in the forest.
But why were they killing them to begin with?
It's dumbasses. I don't know. They're dumbasses. It causes colony collapse in bees.
Yeah, I was wondering what the connection to the bees was.
Yeah, no. Bees need the dew from the mycelia network of mushrooms to turn on their immune system.
Okay.
Without it, they only live 12 to 16 weeks. And every scientist study done on bees or done on unhealthy bees, which means if you know anything about science, all those studies are wrong. Because you can't do a study on an unhealthy subject and come up with good results. So until the bee gets a hold of the mycelia, the dew of the mycelia network of a mushroom, and drinks that dew, that some certain chemical they get, it turns on their immune system, and they live for 1 year. And then you can do studies on them. But without the mushrooms out there, all you're going to get is unhealthy bees, and they're all going to die off with the smallest little mite problem. Yeah. And, oh my God, is that not what happened? Yeah, it is.
It is.
It was all planned.
Okay, I got to take another quick break here, and then I can probably hang out up here with you for another half hour or so.
Right on. Yeah, we're not going to stay on too long tonight.
Are you on another half hour, though?
Yeah. Another half hour is about as long as I want to run.
Okay, I'll be back in a few.
Yeah, not a problem. So, I see Jake staying up till 10 o'clock tonight. Must have been making pizza and waiting for it to come out. So let's see. Where's my list? I had a list of things I want to talk about. Mel and I already talked about it. iBooks. Yeah, I already talked about everything. Yeah, I already talked about everything. I'm glad Long Lived Coins came up here to discuss osmium, for which it is a platinum group metal, 1 of 6. Professor Neil on the Platinum Groups Metals class. Long nap today, right on, Shay. Like I said, I got a neighbor who just came home today. He's going to supposedly email me all the raw footage that was taken for that commercial. There was like 17 takes, and he said he's going to have it in the email where I can just click on the link and all of it shows up. I'm going to forward that to Chris and just let them decide what words, because each take I said it differently. And I don't know which one's most appropriate, which one would be best. I don't know anything about advertising. So that way it gives him the opportunity to go through and pick which one's the better verbiage, which, the best language I use to get the point across or convey the point. And then he can do whatever the fuck he wants, doodling it up and whatnot. And he'll have other takes for other commercials. But that's kind of sort of what. Fuck, I don't know. Never done this shit before. Feet first time's kind of fucked up. But it's a hell of a ride. Yeah, it's funny. Is Tully still here? Did she take off? She was doing something with her pores. She's getting them out of a cleaner or something. Tumbler. I'll agree with that, Jake. Hopefully here shortly, I'll have somewhere down here a link for Miles Franklin. Be their platinum man. Because they don't have a platinum man right now. They never had a platinum man. So I make myself a spot. Make myself a spot. Scoot over, scoot over, scoot over, scoot over. I'm sitting right there. Basically. Got on the bus, said I wanted to sit down, found a way to make a seat for myself. It's called creativeness, ballsiness, stupidity, arrogance. You can label it whatever you want. Creativity. Or all of the above. It's just, it's what you do to get ahead. You do everything you can. I'm trying crazy new shit, But why be different? Why not be different? Excuse me. Take a chance at being different. The world's a great place. It's even greater with more differences, more uniqueness, especially in individuals. It makes it so much more fun. Dude, oh God, we're going to have an earthquake out here, I think. You heard it here first in Neil's Han Dynasty. I'm very concerned about the amount of pounds of pressure per square inch that water has on land over active fault sites, fault zones, cracks in the earth that cause earthquakes in Southern California because they get too much fucking rain. They're going to have billions of pounds of pressure on the earth. I was concerned about that with the New River Gorge Dam too, with the filling of the reservoir, and it actually did slow down the Earth's rotation by 0.0003% from all the water built up from the New River Gorge Dam over in China, and it caused a slight wobble or something like that. I think I read.
Come on, really?
It's weird what this huge ass dam did to the earth as far as rotation shit. I mean, it's really not much, but if you think about it, it doesn't take much to make a big change on the planet. And if you can slow it down even a 0.003% because you build up a large enough sum of water in one location that's not natural, I'm sure there's consequences.
Oh yeah, water's heavy.
Yes, it is. And that goes back to my saying that I was just saying I'm concerned about an earthquake in Southern California because, man, fucking San Diego just got like 3 or 4 foot flood, and that's a lot of weight on top of an active fault zone.
Oh, especially and if you've got like subway systems and underground stuff.
That's why I'm concerned.
I would be too. Like that is another reason I would be worried about going to California. Same as Hawaii, for volcanoes.
Yep. I feel you. I have the very, very same concern.
But really, there's not all that many places that are 100%. There's going to be a degree of risk pretty much anywhere you live, whether it's geopolitical, natural.
There's going to be a shitload of work if there's a good earthquake out here. That's for damn sure. That'll change the economy. They'll stop with all their fake shit to put California back together. You'll find out, as they say, who is not wearing clothes when the tide goes out. If we have a bad earthquake, you will find out every rule and regulation that they don't give a fuck about will go to the wayside to get shit done. And that's when you see nuts and bolts of what really works and what fake shit they're throwing at you.
Yep. That's right. When people are passionate and inspired about getting something done too, it happens a lot better than if they're just relaxed and watching The Simpsons. Yeah.
Yeah, they're good earth. Like Kevin the Weedman in Oklahoma. They had like a 4.1 earthquake, I think it was, in Oklahoma. And so he said there, a lot of the state inspectors went out to inspect all the bridges and overpasses and stuff. And what I said to him is, this happened, I think, last night. So what I told Kevin Weedman, I was like, if there's enough work coming out of that, you might be seeing me, because that's a lot of iron work if they've got an infrastructure for bridges, overpasses, and stuff like that. It hasn't been retrofitted for earthquake resistance or anything like that. And Oklahoma's not known for earthquakes. So a lot of their shit's probably got some cracks, damage that they're going to need lots of people to weld up and fabricate.
Thinking even like underground parking, and that's another reason that I used to have. I had 2 different condos and an apartment that were like the penthouse units, up high, 15 stories or whatever. But now, like I'd be really concerned about living in that sort of a setup.
Well, my thought process goes long before that. I would never live there because I couldn't have animals. I couldn't have a yard, and that's just not me. I gotta have space. I can't be hearing their TV and them walking and the people beneath me yelling. I would fucking go Jeffrey Dahmer on people.
And you know what? When the power goes out, the elevators go out.
Oh yeah.
I had to do stairs several times. And that really sucks.
Oh yeah. I was on the
and when the power's out, the air conditioning doesn't work.
I was on the 46th floor of a building we were building, and power got shut down, and it was real bad because they evacuated us, and it sounds easy going down 46 flights of stairs.
It's
not with all your tools, because they said you ain't getting back up, not unless you take the stairs. And we're like, fuck, I ain't coming up 46 flights. I'm taking my tools down with me. It was a bitch. We stopped several times, winded, going downhill, downstairs, just going down, because it's not a natural step that you take so repetitively.
And you're carrying all that extra weight. Right?
Yeah,
if we're carrying extra weight, I'm sure you could do it.
Oh, we used to run down the stairs. 2 steps get you halfway. 4 steps and you're down. It's a full flight. It's like 1, 2, hit the wall. 1, 2, hit the wall, and just boom, 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 like a ping pong ball, but you're a human being getting down. Ironworkers, we do crazy shit, bro. We race downstairs. Motherfuckers get to the wall and the ironworkers go through. You're like running there. Holy fuck, who was that? This is fucking ironworkers. Crazy motherfuckers.
Yeah, for sure. No electricity, no crypto, no debit, no credit. And
silver and platinum.
Soon, I think no electricity means no internet.
And that brings me back to what I first started talking about. Because if there is some sort of an event that people are now starting to talk, there's going to be some sort of a hack event or internet and power and all this stuff's going to go down. Man, get books on repairing shit and stuff that you can do. Because if you can't get a hold of that information, you can't fucking research it. You can't do it. That's so if all this stuff goes away, the people that are going to be the winners are the ones that can do stuff. And those will be the ones that has the reference material to be able to do things. So download onto shit like this right here. Information that you would need if the internet goes down for a couple months. Download it on this, because your computer will still work if the internet's down. You just won't be able to hook up online. But you will be able to pull out that maintenance book or that cookbook or that medical knowledge book if you download it. I don't think anyone's doing that. And that would be a way to fuck us all, because no one's preparing for that.
I think lots of people are, but just, you're right, the ratios aren't there.
More people need to be talking about that. Because if it does go down, how are you? Okay. If it goes down, cell communication go down. People you call for information, for general question information, you're not going to be able to do that. Now your refrigerator goes out. Don't you wish you had a manual? Well, I can go, damn, online's offline.
Yep.
What are you going to do? Well, I downloaded manuals on how to fix shit before it happens. So I'm still cool. I can see if I can't fix the blown capacitor on the fucking motherboard simple enough with a soldering gun and a fucking circuit. Fixed.
And a lot of hard copy. I think a lot of hard copy
books are going to be fucking awesome to have.
Right? Or even just printing. If you don't want to spend the money to buy the book, just print out the key things that will be most useful.
Know that if there is some sort of a communications breakdown where we are not having online access or cell communication, anything like that, a big thing that people don't talk about is that knowledge, that book knowledge to fix, repair, and do things properly to where you don't fuck yourself up.
Yep. And the ham radio is a great idea too.
Well, yeah, ham radio, but who are you going to call? They're going to ask you a question. You're going to say, well, I don't have that information because we don't have internet and I didn't download it and I didn't pre-buy the book. So I can't tell you, but we can talk.
But if they contacted you, you would have it.
Then if you had the ham radio and this information, you can spread the information and help out a lot of people. Oh, fuck, I didn't know that during an EMP, if I was a 1970s car, all I had to do was change out the alternator and the whole fucking thing will work again. I can make money now. Shit like that. Because if the EMP comes and knocks out the internet and all these new cars are dead, but the old 70s, 60s, 50s cars, just change the alternator. Motherfucker will run after an EMP. It'll be the only thing that runs. How much money do you think you'll have? But if you don't have that knowledge, yeah, basically it depends on you and if you can contact them. If there's no cellular communications through the computer, can you contact the people that know what you need to know? If you download it or buy the book in advance, and start a small library, dude. Electronic library. What is old desktops? I'm thinking about getting an old desktop just to store information and have it offline. Just have it downloadable, all downloaded. I have this one 2 terabyte external hard drive. It's got like 3,000 movies on it. A couple of buddies of mine, a couple of years, about a decade ago, got together because I have like 350 DVDs for my liking. And these guys also had several hundred DVDs. So one guy went through all of them and transferred them all onto one hard drive and then downloaded them all onto the external hard drives so that all of us would have about 2 terabytes of movies to choose from off mine. That all I need is power to my computer. I hook up this external hard drive, plug it into the wall. If I have power, I'm offline and I still have fucking over 1,000 movies I can watch while everyone else is twiddling their thumbs.
Have a good week.
That's stupid shit. I need intelligent shit, not movies. You know what I'm saying? Good night, Tully. Thank you very much for stopping by.
Yeah, definitely. I think people that are living in the rural areas are going to have the greatest chance to thrive. Because a lot of them already know how to live off grid.
There's living off grid, and then there's living off grid with communications. Because you can be off grid and live just fine, and not realize that 2 counties over something's happening and coming your way. So you need that communications also, where the ham radio comes in. So you need to stay in touch with East Coast to West Coast when shit goes down, because that'd be the perfect time for any individuals that wanted to land on the shores and start walking your way to be able to do so, because you couldn't communicate to the rest of the people that they're coming your way, kind of scenario.
I hear you,
Jake. Think how much a real Playboy magazine will sell for. Yeah, if the computer goes down, I guarantee you that you'd have some good barter material there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people spend too much time with the prawns.
Yeah, spend too much time on computers and not learning stuff. Unless you're learning stuff while on the computer. That's a different story. You're on it playing games and stupid shit.
I knew you were gonna dig me for the games.
No, I'm not gigging you.
I knew you were gonna.
Dude, I'm not gigging you at all, bro. You just started doing that. You have not done. I'm talking about basically kids who are walking fucking in downtown doing this number or playing a game on their phone, not watching as they cross the street, kind of stupid shit. That's what I'm talking about.
I hear you.
What you're doing is giving people the answers before I get them, so I don't win.
I don't cheat very much with that.
I'm just playing with you, bro. No, it's a thought game. It makes you think. It's a good mind game.
It kind of reminds me of sitting around, when we were growing up with the family playing Monopoly or Scrabble or whatever. It's downtime. No prawn hub. Half the country, they won't know what to do.
Yeah, no doubt. That's why Jake will be rich, man. He's got a couple of Playboys, and as I was going to say, they discovered papyrus scripts that they attribute to the workers, because what it was basically a porn magazine for the time period. Back when they were building the pyramids, they had porn magazines for their time period. You know, little 2-page, 3-page Sanskrit with some fucking whatever hieroglyphs on them or whatever. But they discovered them and they determined them to be basically like Playboy. Way back then. So yeah, they didn't have internet or TV either. So yeah, magazines were real important to them. Mm-hmm. They got passed around.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the word lust shows up several times in the Bible. So you know,
oh yeah,
ancient thing.
Yeah, it's a sin. It's a sin. That's why you always got to be doing something. Keep your mind active. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they had all kinds of stuff. Wealth of Nations. They had light bulbs as well. They were just different chemical light bulbs than ones we used. It was like fucking lead or copper inside the highly acidic, watery shit, and it threw off a fucking light. That's what some of those hieroglyphs, they show them carrying them. They're light sources that they use as some sort of chemical way to make a small illumination. Mm-hmm. And they're actually now coming up with the truth. I heard about the pyramids. They're actually admitting that they were power transfer stations.
Have a good night, Jake.
They were more, hey, good night, Jake. I'll talk to you later. They were more likely used as power conversion or distribution centers than they were as crypts. In other words, for people to be buried at. That wasn't their purpose. And they're actually allowing such material to come out in the public forum now, which they repressed for a very long time.
Was this that they were energy generators?
Yeah, that basically, yeah. And they weren't tombs. Someone came along later and said, "Oh, I can be special if I use this as a tomb, and it's already big, and everyone will worship me because I'm in it." Yeah, no, it was power generation is what they say, because there's simple logic. Where were all the pharaohs but 3 buried? And how were they buried? Then these 3 supposedly had pyramids built for them, and they changed their whole sequence of events of how they buried just for these 3 pyramids. Oh, come me. If you want to go down that road, yeah, okay. You know, just put some logic to it. All the other pharaohs are built differently. Their burial tombs are not pyramidal at all. They dug little tunnels. Boom, boom, boom. There they are in a little tomb under the ground. No pyramid above them, no nothing. And all of a sudden you get these pyramids that have these weird, perfectly shaped angle shits going in different directions that human bodies can't be put down or any of this other crap. And it's supposedly a burial plot. Oh, come here, dog, come here.
Sounds like
you can believe whatever you want, man. Just don't tell me you saw Bugs Bunny, because that's what I'm going to tell the doctors on you.
I saw Bugs Bunny. It was a really cool cartoon show when I was
real life Bugs Bunny.
On the
television. I'm not talking about a rabbit named Bugs Bunny. I'm talking about a rabbit that walks on 2 feet, talks on you, says, "What's up, Doc?" Shh, I'm not about it. Oh, it's still raining.
It's all right. You need the rain. Not too much.
Yeah. Well, you know, whatever is will be. So It's actually helping out work, because for every day there's rain, the guys aren't getting projects done that are going. Projects that were supposed to start get pushed back, and enough of that happens, and you have a congestion of work, which means work is good. It's like paying it forward. Don't work now and you'll work more later.
Well, it also means they should be paying you more too.
I can see why you're not a boss.
Well, when
Paying employees more, no one talks about that shit. You don't pay them more. You try and do everything you can to get them to fucking not get paid as much. That's how you get your bonus. Screw your employees. That's why the CEO gets $1 million and you get a certificate for a $15 fucking turkey. If you're lucky. And I don't think they even give those out anymore. They don't give a shit out anymore. Layoff check. They mail those to you.
You'd think if there's enough, you'd think if there was enough congestion that demand would exceed supply and the price should have to go up.
You know, that's what happened after the Black Death in the Middle Ages. It killed off so many peasant class that it actually created the middle class, because there were so few workers after the Black Death happened for the royals to use to do the tasks and whatnot, that they had to start paying them more. Because there's so few of them. So, you know, there's pros and cons to everything, I guess. Kill enough people off, prices of people start going up.
Yeah, not crazy. Lady's got a good point there too. You know, bosses that are like that are running their people thin, and that's when accidents happen.
Yeah, no, actually, I'm a trained safety coordinator for Union Iron Workers International. And yeah, you're 100% correct. You're supposed to give them mental breaks during 2 breaks on top of lunch throughout the workday to break up the monotony of the job. And during those 2 breaks, you should be mentioning stuff about safety to keep the person's mind on safety. To a 10-minute and a 15-minute break, both in place, especially if you build a high rise. But you get them at the gang box. Instead of 10 minutes, you give 20 minutes. You do a little safety, what they call a job box meeting. Impromptu one, to keep the person's mind on safety and working safely. And they feel gratified because you gave them an extra 10 minutes for break, and it really doesn't matter because their productivity is going to go, basically it's going to be the same, but the amount of money you save by non-injuries and non-lost work time injuries is going to be greater, which means that jobs are now run based off insurance company savings rather than getting the job done right. And that's 100% true. They don't care if the job's done right as long as no one gets hurt.
I hear you. I know you want to get going here soon, so I think I'll
I'm gonna do it.
Chat, let you finish her off.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap her up right now. If anyone wants to buy any silver and platinum, just go back through the stream. I had it pinned toward the beginning.
Highlight it again. Highlight it one more time right at the end there, just in case.
Hell, I don't know where it is to do it, and I don't have it. I don't have it copied.
Oh, yeah, it's long gone.
Yeah, it's long gone.
Okay,
it's no big deal. It'll be up there next week, and hopefully the commercial will be out as well, and then it won't matter.
Yep, people can just pull back to the beginning of the stream. Have a good night, Neil. See
right on.
You in the chat soon.
I'll see you on the next one, and I like those games. Don't stop. All right, you guys, I'm gonna head out of here. Remember to be kind, helpful, and grateful, because it's better than being jerk. And don't trust me. Do your own research, and buy some silver and some platinum. Most especially platinum. There's going to be such technologies coming out in the next couple of years. Most all of them use platinum, and they're all going to be in high demand, which means it's going to make a lot of them, which means platinum prices is going to be. And with that said, you guys have a good evening, and God bless you. God bless everyone here, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye-bye. Peace out.